Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. It's that time of year again. I absolutely love this. I really do. This live stream is always good fun. But I will say hello to the chat in a second. But welcome, everybody, to the first live stream of the Vintage Collection show this year. It's the first time I've done one. I wish to do more live streams. And what better way to kick it off than us going through the March Madness bracket? I do want to stress that this is not the official March Madness bracket. You do need to vote starting on Monday. There is a link in the description for you all to do that, to the SWTVC's link tree where all of the voting will happen. This is just us putting forward who we want to go through in each matchups. And I've got to actually say right now, I haven't actually looked in detail at who's versus who. So as we're going to be going through this, a lot of this is going to be a surprise to me. But I'm going to be going off the basis of the characters that I sort of had on my 25 list. And if they're not, then obviously I'll be making a decision. If we draw, so it's 2-2 on a particular character, then there will be a poll in the chat for you guys in the chat to, vote your character through. Also, I want to just stress, if one of us, myself or my guests, doesn't have to pick your favorite character, please don't take offense. It's all just good fun in the end, all right? Can't believe I've got to say that, but I really do need to say that. All right, so I just want to introduce my guests once again this year. Same guests as last year. We have there in my screen anyway, we have Chris from Toys of the Jedi. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thank you, Tim. Very much. Thank you very much for having me again. I know the results at the end of last year was an interesting one, to say the least. So thank you for having me back after that one.
Yeah, strange that he was like top of your top 25, was he not?
Yes, he was pretty close to the top, that's for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. No, it's good to have you here, buddy. And we also have Nick, only One Kenobi. You all know who he is. How you doing, buddy?
Very, very good, Tim. Happy first day of spring as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely day today here. Blue skies and sunshine down where I live.
Great day today. Yeah, nice.
Awesome. Bring it on. And we also have John, the Vintage Concepts, and you will know that he is basically the brains and the brawn behind
most of you know him for this.
Yeah.
Yes, a little shot of that guy.
I should play the little video, but we're not good. Yeah. My good friend John Densmore, everybody. How you doing, my friend?
Hello. Good. How are you? Thanks for having us. Thanks for doing this. It's always a fun time. Hey, thanks everybody for watching and participating. Now that the spreadsheets are mostly out of the way, we can have fun with the voting. So here we go.
Yeah, that's always the worst bit, the spreadsheets, right? While we're here, just very quickly before we start getting into the stream, do you want to just inform everybody what March Madness is for the people that don't know, very quickly, and about how it's all done?
Sure. So this is our 5th annual TVC March Madness that we do every year. That's why it's annual. There you go. So in January, we asked for everybody's top 25 lists. They're ranked. So you send those to us. We got over 1,200 this year, and then we crunch all the numbers. We go through it and determine the top 64 ranked characters, and then those go into a bracket. The matchups are based on typical March Madness basketball brackets. Number 1 goes against number 64, top of the list to the bottom of the list, and it works its way towards the middle there, towards number 32 versus number 33. That's how it all works out. So thank you, everybody. If you don't like the picks, take it up with yourself. Take a hard look in the mirror, because you guys are the ones that pick these figures. And yeah, so then starting on Monday, as Tim said, at the link tree, the SWTVC link tree, which is in the description here, and will be on the Instagram page that I'm part of, at SWTVC. You can find all the information and links there. It'll be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, voting from the entire day, Eastern Standard Time. And so make your voice heard. You vote in the matchups. And I got to say, it's not who you don't want versus who you want. It's, all 64 characters are great choices. They're somebody's favorites. Maybe they're not all your favorites, but it's which one do you want first? If you're looking on the pegs, there's 2 of them. Which one are you going to buy first? You can only buy one. That's how you should make your decision. But so
absolutely. And
all in good fun.
That speaks to the fact that there are 64 characters on the bracket, but we only personally voted for 25 of them. So already over half of them are characters that aren't necessarily ones that I don't want, but ones that I just fit into my. There you go. I'm just going to say hello to the chat very, very quickly. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to have to do this very quickly because we want to get on. There's a lot to get through in this live stream. And the last year's live stream went on for 3 hours. It's good fun. So let's have a look. Star Wars Rue. We've got Kobe McClurg. I wonder if there's going to be a dodgy name in here what I'm going to read out by accident.
Amanda Huggin Kiss.
Yeah,
Hey guys, I'm looking for Amanda Huggin.
More than likely there will be. Gar Saxon, we've got Cisco Deer, Des T's here. Hello McFly, we've got Scott Layton, we've got Issam, we've got Daniel Chart. How you doing, buddy? We've got Carrie, we've got Trevor, Short Stack, we've got John. We have Jeff Russell. Hello there, buddy. How are you doing? Good to see you here, my friend. Charlie Mike. We have the SWTVC. Maybe that's Tyler. We have Toys of the Way. We have Huckleberger, Marco Martinez. We have J Guys Studios, Dan Von Carr, Better Ray Bob, William Rodriguez, Reno, Paul Morales. There's loads. Phil the Force is here. There's loads. This is No Cave. Aqualish Doug's here. Sorry, I'm going to have to just go through them because there's too many. Hello, everybody in the chat. It's good to see you all here. Really appreciate you being here, as always. And must bring up this. Shannon Petratz, super sticker. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate it. That's really generous. Thank you so much. Shall we just get on with it? Let's just do it, shall we?
Yeah, let's get on.
Let's share the screen. And it's this one, isn't it? So there we go. Let's get on with the first round. So the way this sort of works is that I don't ask everybody in the same order each time because I don't want to influence what that person might pick based on what other people have picked. Not that it would, but you never know. If someone's already got 2 votes, they might want to pick one just to be annoying. So on this first one, it's going to be the Stranger in first. He's number 1 seed versus KB, and also he was the runner-up in Last Figure Standing as well. So he is a popular character. Will the number 1 seed go all the way to the top? We shall find out. So Johnny Mustache, who are you voting for, buddy?
I got to go with Stranger. He was number 6 on my own top 25 list, which I do have in the corner, and I will be consulting. Love KB, would love all the Skeleton Crew characters, but I got to go with Stranger right off the bat.
Okie dokie. And now we'll go over to Chris.
Okay. For me, of the 2, I enjoyed Skeleton Crew far more than I did the Acolyte, so KB through for me, which I know isn't the popular choice by the previous 2, but yeah, KB for me.
Nick.
Yeah, KB. I'm not voting for the Stranger.
Wow, this is going to be one that's going straight to a poll because even though I did prefer the Skeleton Crew to the Acolyte, I thought the Stranger at least was the best thing about the Acolyte. And when it comes to an actual action figure, I would prefer that one. So we are going to be going to a poll for the first one. Let me just see if I can. God, I'm not prepared for this actually. So hang on 2 seconds.
We didn't see this coming so soon.
Doing that, we've got 177 watching at the moment.
Brilliant.
Those who haven't subscribed already, I can't imagine anyone not subscribing to Box Bounty, but do subscribe, do click the like button if you would as well, please.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, buddy. I should have you on more often.
Yeah.
Right. So let's yeah. Right, let's set up a poll here. Here we go. Start a poll.
That was nicely done, that, Chris. He slotted in nicely there, man. Kept it slick.
Yeah, beautiful.
Moving. Live TV. Come on. Good stuff.
Right, the poll is live in the chat. You can either vote for the Stranger or KB. Try and vote as quickly as you possibly can, please. And if I see one that is by far, out far the winner, then obviously I'm just going to say that they're the winner because we can't be here all night.
I take it we're not tipping the scales on these, Tim?
Sorry?
I take it we're not tipping the scale. We're not adding on these as well, are we?
I'm not
not,
voting.
no.
No.
No. All right.
No.
Okay. Hans
John, quick question actually, because the stranger, so how did you split the votes with, like, Masked Man versus what was his name in the show where he's not the stranger? He's called something, isn't he? Quimir, is it?
Yeah.
Chimir.
Qimir. There was only a few. If it said the stranger or Chimere, I'd put it all towards the stranger. And then if somebody said specifically Chimere in his non-stranger appearance or his like apothecary disguise, then I would separate those. Hello, Miko. Hello.
Miko, pallets.
I hope you're the one dancing in the competition, Miko. So
absolutely,
I would love to see that.
Right.
Need that footage.
But yeah, did you guys do it differently for Last Figure Standing? I assume there weren't as many Chimere non-stranger votes.
Skinny dip stranger.
Sorry, what did you say there, John?
I'm saying, was that similar to how you guys separated the stranger versus Chimere votes in Last Figure Standing?
To be honest, I don't know, because they did.
Yeah.
They did. I didn't have anything to do with any of the, how that was done. But I would imagine so. Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. I have a feeling more people are going to want the action-oriented one than the Mix It Potions Master one. But yeah.
Sorry, I just got a bit distracted there, because it just came up that the connection was it said in there the connection's unstable, and I was worried that the stream was just going to end prematurely, but it looks like we're okay. So hopefully there wasn't any lagging or anything like that. But let's go back to the poll, because I'm pretty sure it's finished now. So 62%, the stranger takes it. Let's just end the poll.
And Chris says you combine them. Thanks, Chris. I think there was, I just said I wasn't going to check all the different votes, but let's see where Chimere ranked. He was only on 3 lists that people specified, not the action adventure version. So,
John, you could have made these smaller, mate.
I know. I did that myself. I was like, there's things that I built into this every year that I'm still just like chugging along. It's tape and band-aids at this point, 5 years on. But
it's going to add an extra 10 minutes to the stream, Tim.
Yeah, probably is, to be honest. Right, who's up next then? So we now have
this is tough, man.
Darth Malak versus the Client. I'll go first with this one, if you don't mind. I'm going to vote the Client. Reasons being, I always prefer live action before anything else. So that one's quite an easy one for me, and we do need him for our Mandalorian scenes. So Client for me. John?
Yeah, agreed. Client. I have a Malak, even if it's outdated. I have no Client. So there you
go. Chris?
It's an easy one for me. Number 19 on my top 25 list, the Client. Okay.
And Nick?
The Client, for the same reason John said, I've got a Malak. Do not have a Client. We should have a Client. So it's outrageous that we don't already. Disgusting.
Okay, so that's a clean. That's
it is though, isn't it? It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So we've had.
It's unfair.
Yeah.
Already we've had a we've had a poll, and we've had a poll and a clean sweep on the first 2, which is pretty good. All right, next up we've got Mara Jade versus. I do this joke every year. Don't know who's that. Who's this guy? I know it's a terrible joke. Ben Solo from Exegol. I'm not too sure what planet or where that is, but Mara Jade or Ben Solo. And we're going to go to Nick on this one first.
I'll go Mara Jade, because that was criminal that wasn't put in Vintage Collection in the first place. What with the orange card line, the bane of my life, the Black Series orange card. They could update that head as well, like they did for Shea Vizsla. And that's about it, really. Yeah, I've got no interest in Ben Solo. Sorry. Chris, the film was better.
For me, yeah, it's a tough one. Wasn't a huge fan of The Rise of Skywalker, but the abysmal hairdo of that Black Series version, Mara Jade, I'd love to see that updated and give us some proper hips as well. It's not a bad figure, that one, but just that head sculpt is just awful. So yeah, Mara Jade for me, please.
Right, I
Great
think
if
I
they
know
did
who
it.
John's going to. I think I know who John's going to go for here because he's going to say, "I know what you're going to say." Can I say it?
Well, yeah.
You're going to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
"I've got a Mara Jade, but I don't have a Ben Solo." Can we have?
This is true.
You're going to put Ben.
That's also very true. Also, I mean, she's already got that amazing '80s blowout hairstyle on the Black Series rig.
A blowout.
I think Ben Solo could look even better, like he was in the Force Awakens. So I think we gotta go Ben.
Wow. Look at that. Well done, Chris.
Wow.
And I'm unfortunately, I'm going to go back on what I just said here now about live action before anything else, because I'm just not a fan of the sequel trilogy. Unfortunately, like out of anything, that's probably the last. I think I would probably want Acolyte figures over the sequel trilogy, and the Acolyte isn't really my favorite thing either. So I am going to have to go Mara Jade on this occasion, and they're also starting to put out some figures that can go with her as well. So I'm going to go.
Nice to go with that Heir to the Empire pack, but
exactly, yeah. So I'm going to go Mara Jade. So that's 3-1 for Mara Jade. She goes through.
Be great if they did an expanded universe card, but they never would they?
well, they can do Heir to the Empire or whatever more specific. Yeah, these
That's
days
what they'll probably do, won't it? Yeah. Okay, so oh god, this one's tough. Bodhi Rook versus Ki-Adi-Mundi. Oh my god. I'm going to go to Chris to start with because I want to confer my list here because I think I've got both of them on my 25.
Fair enough. It's a complete the crew for me. Get Bodhi into the line, number 23 on my list. So yeah, Bodhi Rook for me.
John?
Yeah, I have figures of them both. Ki-Adi-Mundi has slightly more articulation than Bodhi, so I gotta go with Bodhi. We desperately need some prequel love in the line at some point. But we also desperately need to finish the Rogue One crew. So I gotta go with
Bodhi. Nick, you go. I'll go last on this one.
I'll try and keep it brief. I like the way you went with the articulation angle there, John, but I'm going to go with the age angle because I think that I'm still happy with the 5 per weight. Most of my articulated figures, I just have them standing there anyway. But, the figures for him are getting so old, Ki-Adi-Mundi, that I want to see and Attack of the Clones card as well to go with those other Jedi would be wonderful. Kit Fisto, and then you've got him and in the arena. Yeah. So, yeah, that's me. Ki-Adi-Mundi.
So 2-1 at the moment, so it's down to me. So I just wanted to explain a little bit about how I'm processing this. Both of those are on my list. And what I would usually do is I would say, okay, I put X character higher up on my list. So therefore I'm going to go with that one over the one, but I don't think it's always going to work like that because I may have placed a character higher up on my list to make sure he got on the bracket. Right, and then the other character, I may have thought he's going to get lots of votes, so maybe I don't need to vote him up so high. However, I am going to go with my what I've gone for on my own top 25, and I'm going for Ki-Adi-Mundi. I've got him as number 5. I had Bodhi as number 10, and that it kind of goes against everything really because I do really want to complete the crew very, very much. But I can't Ki-Adi-Mundi, man. We need him.
They're too old, aren't they? The existing figures.
And also, this also takes it to the to a poll, which means we're going to have a PT character versus a new media Rogue One, I guess, character. Let's do this. Let's do the poll. Okay, let's have a look.
I think there was a concept Ki-Adi-Mundi in 2009, but the last all-new movie one was in 2005, so 20 years ago, which is crazy. It is, Bodhi Rogue One will be celebrating its 10th anniversary next year.
It does look good, that 5 POA, doesn't it? It's nicely sculpted and everything.
Everybody craps on the 5 POA. I think the initial Force Awakens ones were not great, like Poe Dameron with the big banana on his eyes. But especially by the time Rogue One was pretty good, then by the time we got to Last Jedi and Solo, some of those sculpts were quite nice.
Don't get me wrong. It's a shame he's not, fully articulated. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Remember, it's which one you want first. Yeah. Ki-Adi-Mundi I want first. That's why I voted for him. There you go.
It's looking good for Ki-Adi there at the minute. Isn't it?
Oh yeah, the Clone Wars Ki-Adi-Mundi as well. I always forget about the animated Jedi.
It is close. Ki-Adi's at 53, so get voting, guys.
And then they could put him. Well, I don't even want to say this, but the the acolyte as well. You can have a younger version of him.
I'll just ask you. I think one person specified acolyte Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's wearing more He's wearing more standard robes in acolyte, whereas his prequel look is more unique to himself. So I don't know if they really could reuse. They could reuse the head, but
I have to admit it was pretty cool seeing him though, wasn't it? You know, when he appeared, but it still didn't quite make a lot of sense, really. That it goes against the grain too much lore, doesn't it, with him appearing? And
I know it's fine. I'm not going to get into that right now. Well, while the poll's running,
dancing with danger, man, aren't they? With some of these decisions.
Well, he thought that he was wrong that the Sith hadn't returned. He's like, the Sith had been extinct for millennia. He was wrong the whole time in episode 1.
He's a liar as well, like all these other people are liars. That they
no, the stranger killed everybody that saw him. Nobody knew about him that wasn't in that group.
It was quite
fine. It works out just fine.
God, John, I was enjoying that series, man, but then that last episode killed me off, and I joined the rest of the hate.
Right, Ki-Adi-Mundi is currently at 54%. I'll give you 10 seconds if anyone else wants to vote. He's currently winning. And yes, I do realise I did not put the D in Mundi. My D on my keyboard is a little bit temperamental. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, we're thinking about Monday. Remember, this Monday the voting begins. So if you don't like what we're saying,
nice.
There's the links. There we go.
Right, Ki-Adi takes it, man. 54%, but that was close. That was pretty close. Let's find the name pill for him. There he is.
It's not a bad head sculpt on that 2005 one, actually.
No, it's really not.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
it's just the lack of articulation.
That weird.
It's the same with. There's a lot of those prequel Jedi figures aren't terrible, but yeah, they just not up to.
I like the one with the magnetic. That's a nice one. It looks good.
Okay, Arliel Shoes versus a Manaman. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to Arliel. I already have an Amanaman. It's not the best Amanaman. It's okay. I would love a new one on a vintage card, of course. But I don't have an Arliel, so I'm sounding like John. So I'm going to go for Arliel. We'll go to John next.
You sound like me, and I'm going to say the same thing. I have an Amanaman, but I don't have an Arliel, so I got to go Arliel.
There you go.
Even though I have half of him with Jod, so forgive me, Tyler, I got his legs, but I don't have the rest of him. I don't have the interesting parts.
Right, Chris.
I'm really torn. I didn't vote for Arliel in the top 25 because I kind of knew he was going to get on the bracket. There's clearly a lot of demand for him. I was seeing him in loads of other top 25 lists. So a Manaman went on my list. I definitely want Arliel, but I'm going to go for a Manaman on this one.
Okay.
And that nice big deluxe card 2 inches wider, that everyone's so excited about right now.
Don't get into it.
That's more
for a different stream.
Acolyte right now,
Cue a 25-minute rant.
Nick.
Well, I'm sure you do the same, but whenever I'm making a decision on any of these, sometimes you think carded related, sometimes you think loose figure related. This is definitely a loose figure item. And I've got a Manaman. His box is well and truly ticked in my collection. That Power of the Jedi will do me. So Arliel Shoes, those images of him around the Cantina campaign, incredible looking figure that. So 100% Shoes.
Okay, so he takes it. Let me just find the name pill for him. I mean, I love the Jabba's Palace as well. I definitely do want a Manaman eventually in the line, but the one I have is that Power of the Jedi one isn't terrible, is it? Really?
No.
I mean, it could be better, but it's not terrible. I think really I'd want that one in the line more from like a card pack point of view, really. Just
that's the thing that's affected my decisions as well, Tim. That'll be on another supersized card, won't it? Without question,
I hope not. Yeah. There was some comments from Mr. Stevie fairly recently that I think he's heard some of the gripes that we may have had about the oversized cards.
Oh, I.
Oh, I'm sure he's heard.
Yeah.
So I'd hope that they would rectify that for an Amanaman card when they get around to him.
Yeah. Right. We're going to move on, moving swiftly on. And we are now with Emperor Palpatine, Sith Eternal against Bosk. We'll go with Nick.
Yeah, I did love seeing Palpatine. That was probably my favorite moment of that film. And wow, he did look good, didn't he? But no, I'm sorry. So Bosk needs doing. He's another one of those ones that you kind of got in the saga, vintage saga, and the OTC thing. But yeah, get him done. That'll be a kick-ass figure too, probably when they do it. Bosk, yes.
John.
At the risk of being booted off your channel, I got to go with Palpatine. Sith Eternal.
You vote whoever you want to vote for, mate. That's the whole point. I'm going to let Chris have the deciding because I'm going Bosk. As I've mentioned before, I'm not the biggest fan of the sequels, and also I thought the worst thing about the sequels was bringing Palpatine back. I thought it was just a lazy, terrible decision.
Terrible.
I don't know. It just was a terrible decision.
Should have all been
So I'm not too bothered about that character whatsoever. And yeah, I think it's about time we had a new Bosk. So it's 2-1 for Bosk. Chris.
There's not a bad Bosk figure out there. The Kenner one was great. The Power of the Force 2 one was miles ahead of anything else when it was released. And the 2007 one still holds up today.
Yeah, but why would you want an Emperor Palpatine?
That's the problem. It's who he's up against.
What are you talking about? Get him off.
I don't. I really don't. I'd still go. I'd be interested to see what they would do with the new Bosk because he's always been amazing. I'd probably push the Bosk through. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, John. I'm not sorry, Tim.
Oh, sorry. That's right.
Wow. I thought you'd go with the Sith there, but that's all right.
It does
looking not that it'll
film.
sway decisions too much, but yeah, there are some guys in the cantina wearing his outfit as well. Of course, Boshak and the yellow space guy, and
yeah,
multiple most early characters ever, not so much, but it would be some more ways to flesh out the cantina.
My boy.
Okay, Temple. Oh, 2 blues together. Look here. Did you plan that, John?
Yeah, I did not. And some on the bottom right, it's a lot of yellow, and I'm like, I should have redone that, but then I got tired, and I said, you know what, it's good enough. It's the will of the Force.
Jedi Temple Guard versus Fozek, and we're going to go to you, John.
Well,
I'm interested to know what you think about this one.
I know this is a hard one because there is a 5 POA Jedi Temple Guard, and there's no Fozek, and Fozek could lead to the everyone's favorite unidentified shirtless male on the other skiff. But I do think the Jedi Temple Guard needs an update and could lead to a Rebels version. I got to stand with my convictions. I'm sorry, and I got to go with Fozek on this one, though. I don't have any Fozek, even though I think he would not be. His nipples are not quite as cool as a double-bladed yellow lightsaber, but you know what? That's where we are here.
If you're anything, John, you're consistent, yeah. which is always a good thing. Let me just say, by the way, we've got 230 people watching, which is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we are going to go over to Chris.
A very easy one for me. We already have a Jedi Temple Guard. Yes, it's 5 POA, and I would definitely buy an upgraded one. But Fozek's my number 6. We've got that lovely Jabba's Palace set, and it's missing. It's got a Fozek shaped hole right in the middle of it at the moment. So yeah, let's get him into the line.
Nick.
I'm really struggling there. I was gut instinct was Jedi Temple Guard. And then, because I'm not paying scandalous secondhand prices for what we have. And then I thought, well, Fozek, because he's outstanding now, isn't he? Danny John Jules, Fozek. And then I thought, well, Temple Guard, they might, do it justice, soft goods, hopefully, maybe. And I don't know, man, but I'm thinking about displays and stuff. I think I'm going to go with Fozek because I've got a really good thing going on with my Jabba Palace and everything, and bring him in because he's needed.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter what you all went for Fozek, right? It doesn't really matter what I do. I think I really do want a Jedi Temple Guard, by the way, like all of you do.
Oh,
I think it'll make a cool figure. But as you say, I am into sort of completing scenes and stuff, and we do have that pretty awesome Jabba's Palace. So I probably would have gone Fozek, but it doesn't matter anyway. He's going through, isn't he? So let's put him through.
I just checked. Yeah, the 5 POA one is going for like $85 to $100 right now still, which is just wild.
It's ridiculous.
I personally feel that there's more chance of them doing a Jedi Temple Guard than them doing Fozek personally. But I don't know why I think that. I just think, there's more chance.
They also do really well in the bracket. Typically, they've gotten pretty far before. So I think in the official one starting Monday, it'll do quite well.
There's so many Clone Wars characters they haven't done in such a big series that why would they just decide to do that though? I don't know.
We did make an appearance in the recent. Was it Bad Batch? They made an appearance as well.
Oh, did they?
I don't know, or one of the Tales shows. I'm not sure.
That was it. May have been one of the Tales shows. Sorry, fake fan over here. Sorry.
Cease hostility. Yeah, they say cease hostilities, don't they? That's them, isn't it?
That's it. That's it.
Double bladed. It's great. Yellow, like, watch my face.
Right, next round is Echo from the Bad Batch versus Keller and Beck. Wow, this is tough. We're going to go to Nick.
Oh, I don't even know who is that. And I've done my homework, man. Keller and Beck. I'm just Googling it now.
He's Ahmed Best's character who saved Grogu in Mandalorian.
Oh, him. Oh, yeah. So, okay, Keller and Beck versus
Echo.
Who? Oh, Echo. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go Keller and Beck. I'll give Ahmed Best some love.
John.
This is hard. Kelleran is 16 on my list, and 3 of the other Bad Batch guys are 3, 4, and 5. That's kind of a vote for all of them. So I do have to go against my own list and go with Echo from the Bad Batch. Actually, I want them both very much, but I want Echo first.
Chris.
I don't know. It's one of those, because we've only got Hunter so far. There's that reluctance to put too much weight behind the Bad Batch. They just don't seem to be interested. Granted, the rest of the crew are top 10, is it, John? They're all in the top 10? Yeah. So there's clearly a demand from the rest of the community for them. I'll pick up a Kelleran for the Mandalorian style dioramas and whatever you. So yeah, put me down for a Kelleran on this one.
So what did you go Kelleran as well, Nick? Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you've gone Echo. So this is tough. Neither of them are on my 25. I do want both. And the Bad Batch. Oh man,
I do need to finish that crew though. So yeah,
Chris, I'm kind of with you with that. Like, I'm fed up of asking for them. Like, and the reason I didn't put any of them in my top 25 is because I felt if I had to put one in, then I'd have to put them all in, and then that'd take up too many spots of other characters I want to get in there. And plus, I also felt that they would just do just fine anyway, which I was right about, because as Chris just said, all of them are in the top 10, the ones that we don't have, right? Keller and Beck. No. I'm gonna put Echo through, because then it goes to the chat. It goes to the chat. Because I want them equally. Is basically, I'm on the fence with it. I can't decide between the two. So we're gonna
let somebody else decide.
Well, that might be an element of that. No, seriously, I honestly cannot decide between those two. So we're gonna take it to the poll.
Echo or Becco?
I mean, that's the thing. I can picture them now, the whole Bad Batch looking amazing as a set, but I just feel I need to see a little bit more commitment from Hasbro. If they put Wrecker out, I'd feel a bit more confident that they're going to put out the rest of them, because that's the one that's really different.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did
I
a
need to see
HasLab
that.
and just put the rest of the crew in that. You know what I mean? Get you that shuttle or something, the attack shuttle.
Would be nice. I feel
then
like, yeah,
box it
because
all
the
up in
Rebels
one
crew,
thing.
they had all the Bad Batch jumped up a lot this year. They were doing well the past couple of years, but now that we've got like the Rebels crew out of the way and the A New Hope mains ticked off the bracket, they seem to be the next group that's having a strong support. All in the top. Omega's at 21, I believe, but the rest are in the top 10. Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, it's because there's like what 4 of them or whatever, like 4 that we don't have, isn't it?
Yeah, not including Omega. So we need Wrecker, Crosshair, Tech, and Echo, and Omega.
Yeah. So as you say, you know, when you're trying to think of 25 characters, when you want to, you know, because I do want all of the Bad Batch, but then it's 4 spaces on my thing, and then it's like, you know, maybe I'll just get behind one of them, and then it's like, well, which one do I want over the other? I don't want any of them over the other. I want them all or nothing, which is why what annoys me about Hunter is the fact that we've got him and nothing else, because that figure does nothing
But
in my
the story of this line. It's the story of the whole line, though, isn't it?
yeah, big gaps. Let's see how the poll is going. It's close, and it's just moved back down to. I just want to say thank you to Ryan Avery for becoming a member. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. And we're at 52% Echo Bad Batch, so we'll give it another 30 seconds for anyone that wants to vote. But he's currently winning.
That's
When they put
close, considering they're at opposite ends of the bracket. 8th and 57.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. Come on.
Maybe people are just excited because they're thinking if they put out Keller and they could do another single-carded Grogu in his Coruscant look. Everyone's really excited
also,
about that.
we do see upsets as well along the way, and like actually in the voting, don't you? You know, so
yeah. So like you pointed out, you can see the numbers next to their names in case anybody was wondering where they ranked, but that's right where they are.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'll be putting out a post that shows which ones have been on the bracket year after year. We have that already, but I've updated it today, and we'll be putting that out tomorrow. So in case you're like, oh, I really want to get these characters that have been on 5 years off, there's your chance to see what those are.
Yeah. Right, 10 seconds, guys. I'm going to give you now. Echo is currently in the lead, 52%. So 10 seconds, and then it's done. And he will take it. And just to reiterate, this has got nothing to do with the real bracket. This is just our fun bracket. You know, you can vote however you want in the thing. Otherwise, so last year, Ponkrell won it, right? The actual thing.
Yeah.
Whereas last year on this stream, somehow Dryden Voss won it.
Chris's fault. I don't know. Yeah.
He might do. Yeah.
Well, I think as Lewis pointed out on your stream, John, Dryden winning it really didn't help him in the actual poll.
Yeah.
I think people voted strongly against him when it came round to that. So yeah, it didn't do him any favors.
He's been one of
this time round.
Some of these guys that have been on multiple times, they still haven't done that well in the actual bracket itself. So you never know what's going to actually happen.
Right. Echo. The good thing about this is I only have to do this resizing once, because in the next round I can just move it like that, you see.
I'm sorry.
Right. Oh, look at this one. This one's easy for me. Luthen Rail versus Clone Captain Rex. So that's old Rex, right? Sealos?
Yeah, the Rebels version, yeah.
Love the character, loved Rebels, but Luthen's my man. Got to go with Luthen. Has to be. So we'll go Chris.
Very easy one for me as well. I loved Andor, loved the series, loved Luthen. That speech alone, I think he's worth pushing through. So yeah, Luthen for me. And we've got the Rebels version of Old Man Rex.
Nick.
Who do I choose? Luthen. What do I sacrifice? Everything. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, It would have been lovely to have another. The only Rex I want in the vintage collection now is one on a Clone Wars, that new figure on a Clone Wars card. But we're Rexed out, aren't we? Definitely Luthen, 100%.
John.
Well, I'm not Rexed out, but I agree with everything else you guys have said because I got to go with Luthen. He's been my number 2 for a couple of years now.
I like you better and better each year, John.
I think most of the chat seem to be saying Luthen as well, by the looks of things. Seems to be a very popular choice.
I mean, Rex would be great. We got to keep fleshing out the Rebel stuff around the Ghost and everything. But yeah, Luthen is just, it's insane that he hasn't been. I think he's been in the top 10 every year since he's been. I can double check that.
What a great!
I know he was in both.
Man, he's
both
brilliant.
last figure standings, right?
I can't find the Luthen thing.
It's orange.
There it is.
Oh, Punkrell, look, there he is. There's your friend, Tim.
Yeah, he's one of the few from the top 10 of the past couple of years that hasn't been made yet. Him and Baze. But
And just to check, John, this is his like trench coat version.
yeah, I combined some of his Rebel looks, but not his antique dealer look.
Senator. Yeah, well done, Chris. That was it. I can't wait to watch that series again. I'm saving it.
Oh yeah, trailer
Yeah.
flipping awesome. Really, there's so many cool things in there. Like I know people don't really like the floppy winged X-wing that we have, but I would still take it in the partisan colors.
Yes,
right now.
yes.
Yeah.
We finally get to see that thing taken. It's always crashed or parked, so now let's actually see it fly. Let's get it in the line. I love that look.
Yeah.
If that's how we get one of the other characters on this bracket as well, I'd be up for that.
Yes. A little foreshadowing here. A little too shadowing, you might say, but
You might.
Attack Driver versus Frog Lady. I'm going to go straight to Nick because this is your number 1, right?
Yeah, Attack Driver, man. Oh, that 5 POA, beautiful sculpt it was. Needs to be fully articulated, and that classic card as well. In fact, no, Hasbro, can you please give us the Attack Driver on oh no, oversized card, please, to wreck another of my dreams. No, standard card size, please, for
that. Chris?
So, this is a slightly tougher one because the Gorilla Armed Attack Driver we have at the moment, I'm not a huge fan of. But we do have him, so I'd go with Frog Lady on this one.
Okay, John.
I think you guys know I got to go Frog Lady. We have like 18 AT-AT drivers. They're not all great, but they all exist.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, they weren't on the card.
It's a tough split.
I'm sorry, guys, but I do want Frog Lady. Of course I do. We've got so many characters from The Mandalorian, but I've gone with Nick. Yeah. Attack Driver has been one of my biggest wants for years. So, and we've just got the Snow Trooper or Imperial Stormtrooper in Hoth battle gear. So I'm going with him. So that takes it to the poll, right? 2 Frog Lady.
They need each other, don't they, Tim? Those two.
They do.
Yeah.
Let's do another poll.
Frog Man as well. I'm sure that's been said before.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the mad thing. We got that. Oh crikey, Maldo Kreese Mandalorian with the extra spiders and everything. We got all the accessories for that scene, but not the main reason that they're there. The character. So for me, it's just like I say, it's completing a scene.
It's all about the Benjamins.
But that said, I do still want that driver.
I wonder if we'll see the AT-AT driver in the Mando movie because we were seeing AT-ATs in that movie apparently. So I don't know. And the not to say nice things about the Black Series, but the 6-inch Snowtrooper was basically scaled down for the new awesome vintage Snowtrooper, and I think the AT-AT driver in 6-inch is quite a good figure. Like I said, even the 5 POA drivers looks pretty good.
Absolutely, but, spot on helmet that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was always really sad that you didn't see them in Rogue One. You know, you saw something else, didn't you? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, the AT-ACT driver is more like a. It's like one of the shore troopers in different colors, kind of. Which I'm surprised they haven't. They did that in 5 POA. I'm surprised they haven't done that in vintage yet. But
it needs a new mold.
But then when they put, are they waiting for? Yeah, do we need a whole new AT-AT if they put out a new AT-AT driver? Are they worried about that? I don't think.
Well, I was just thinking about a completely new Shore Trooper sculpt, but that's just me.
Oh,
But,
yes.
pushing for that, yeah. No, I don't know if we need a new AT-AT. I mean, have you all got the legacy AT-AT?
I'm going to get myself one, but I've got a vintage one, but I do still need the TVC. I had a TVC one, but I sold it because it was boxed. I couldn't bring myself to open that beautiful box. In the hope that I'd get a loose one somehow, but that still hasn't happened. But I will get one.
It's a lovely piece, really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the one with the chocolate feet as well, but again, it was
rubbish.
It was in its box, in its shipper. I just couldn't bring myself to open up something so, first of all, beautiful, and also, they're worth quite a lot of money. So
It'll be identical, though, won't it, Tim? I used to think it was Legacy Collection. It's not Shadows of the Dark Side. That one. That's
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They're always coming up on eBay.
So the poll at the moment is AT-AT driver 55%. Get voting, guys. I'll give you another 30 seconds if you want to try and tip that in another.
How many more do we have on the left side? I'm trying to think. Quite a few, I think.
We're on to the bottom half of it, at least.
Yeah. Okay. 10 seconds.
I designed the bracket and then I don't even remember what's on it for half the time. I just go into a fugue state and knock it out and then forget about it until this. Okay, yeah.
Right. 50. It's just gone up to. Oh, now it's back at 54% now, but 55%. Yeah, we're ending it now. Because we've got to move. We've got to move on. We've got a lot to get through. Let's see if we can find the AT-AT driver on here. There he is. Okay, shaping up nicely. Oh my God, look at that next round though. Wow.
And what scale is the art driver going to be in, Tim? 3.75. John gets it.
I got it.
Well, you all get it, of course. I'm just
Savage Press versus EV9D9, and we'll go to Nick first of all.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Yeah. Yeah, EV99. That needs a redo. That Power of the Force. No, hang on. What was it now?
Yeah,
it was Power of the Force 2.
Power of the Force.
Yeah, too big.
I actually think that the vintage one's better than the Power of the Force one.
Works so well with the Cantina as well.
Yeah.
More iconic. I loved Savage, but no. EV99.
All right, Chris.
I definitely want an EV99. I think my only concern is what they do with the elbow articulation. Needs to be there, especially as she does a lot of that pointing and shouting at C-3PO when he's down there. So it needs that when they get around to her. I actually think the Clone Wars Savage Press figures work quite well with the realistic stuff. Because he's obviously a very bright, vibrant character. They work quite well. Oh God, it'd be a deluxe version if they did. Oh, it's tougher than I thought.
I don't want to imagine him as a realistic. I just want to think of him as just a cartoon thing. And
I think I'm
done.
Probably, yeah. I think like you say, Nick. I'm probably going to lean with the EV99 because she's in that bar scene for the Mos Eisley, and she does the Jabba's Palace diorama as well. So
yeah, that's the fact that she's in the Mandalorian cantina is a big pull.
Mm-hmm.
John,
that mouth.
Well, I was hoping you'd go first and put me out of my misery, but I'll say both of these, like I said, they're outdated, they're not ideal, and both of them are characters that have been on the bracket all 5 years. But
Evie's
the
the
new Black
worst
Series.
quality, man.
Yeah,
Terrible figure.
yeah.
Well,
EV99 is last updated. Yeah, I think the Clone Wars Savage figures are better than the Power of the Force EV99 figure, so I'll go with EV99.
So that's 3 EV99s. I want both of them as well, but the fact that EV is in The Mandalorian sways it for me. So clean sweep for EV. All four of us.
That's an upset, that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
45 against 20, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I'm trying to see, because Savage has done well on the bracket before. I don't know if EV has done that well.
depends who he's up against, isn't it? That's the thing.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
If it was him versus Ben Solo, Savage, well, for example, wins.
not on everybody's list, Nick.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see. EV99 beat Velkin a couple years ago, and that's the only time she has won a round.
Saw Gerrera versus Marok. I'll go first on this one. Saw Gerrera wins this quite easily for me. I think we said this on the previous last year's stream. We're talking. Marok was around then, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I just felt that it started off as a really cool character, and then they just ruined it by what happened to it. And Saw Gerrera for me is in multiple medias, and it looks like he's going to be very good in Andor season 2. So I'm going Saw Gerrera. John?
This is another one where the 5 POA won. It's a great sculpt. I got excited when I saw him in the Andor season 2 trailer wearing his Rogue One outfit, because like, yes, there's more ammo to actually get him in the line. But again, since we have a 5 POA one and no Merrick, I gotta go Marok.
Yeah. Okay, Chris.
For me, like you said, Tim, Marok didn't do any favors for himself with the way that he just disappeared. And Saw Gerrera is in so many great media sources, like even computer games.
Yeah.
The appearances there as well. I think they'd get quite a lot of mileage out of that sculpt, and could swap some parts over to get some of the different looks. So yeah, Saw Gerrera for me.
And Nick.
Yeah, this just comes down to what I like, and you were right, John. We do have an existing really good figure, great sculpt at 5 POA. But if I liked Marok more, I'd be voting for him, which I didn't really like that character. So, yeah, of all the characters in Ahsoka, that's not one I really want to have. And it comes down to card backs on this one. So I'd love to see that Rogue One, Saw Gerrera, or whatever, Andor would work. You could do multiple. But yeah, I'm going to go with Saw Gerrera.
So that's 3 for Saw.
The beautiful wide card. Yes, I did already forget
He
about
looked great in Andor, though, didn't he? In those scenes in that cave, get a nice car back out of that too, couldn't they?
He wears a different outfit in season 1 of Andor.
Yeah,
than his. But they can do a Rebels, Rogue One. They could do bald. They could do, bearded.
But but in the trailer for season 2, he was Rogue One looking, wasn't he? So it must be towards the end.
At the first part. Then at the end of the season 2 trailer, he's wearing his season 1 outfit again, but with his like Andor hair. So I'm sure, because it takes place over 5 years, so I'm sure he'll.
You've got 2 types of Andor hair. Oh no, sorry, I was just saying no. That's Rogue One.
It's Rogue One hair. I do want to see him get his leg blown off. We still haven't seen why he's missing a leg in Rogue One yet. But anyway.
Yeah.
Right, here is a difficult matchup. It's Ponkrell, who won the bracket last year. Where was he seeded last year, John?
Last year he was seeded at 15 last year.
So he's gone up in the seeds, but not
Series 12, yeah.
I would have thought, considering maybe they just thought, he's won it. He doesn't need to win it again, maybe. I don't know. But Ponkrell versus Fifth Brother. We'll go to Chris.
Easy one for me, Fifth Brother. Not a huge fan of Ponkrell. just didn't do anything for me in the Clone Wars. So yeah, fifth brother.
I loved this episode.
I'll go next. So I'm going to go fifth brother.
Just because.
I'm shocked.
Everyone
No,
has what
surely
they like
not.
and they don't like. And like Ponkrell, he's, whatever. Like I've said it before, I don't need to go for it again. I'll go fifth brother. John, on to you.
I have an animated and a retro fifth brother. I would love a TVC one, but Ponkrell has been on my list forever, so I gotta ping on Pong here.
And Nick.
Yeah, I totally feel fifth brothered out, man, because you've got, as he said, John said, sorry, I've got my 5 POA Rebels. I haven't even opened it, but you've got that bloody retro collection one. I'd like to see him go with the retro. I'd like to see him go with the vintage collection, Grand Inquisitor, but Ponkrell also unlocks Dexter Jetster, your other favorite, Tim. So no, but I do like Ponkrell. I thought that was a really good arc. The 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, the arc was good. Yeah,
It's my favorite
He was
episode.
insane, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, it was
Jedi. So I liked him. I thought he'd be pretty good as a figure too.
Okay, so that's actually good though, because that does make it even, doesn't it? So it's to the polls for this one, because that's a really good one for the polls. Actually, I'm quite interested to see what the result is going to be here. Let me just set this poll up for you guys in the chat.
Let's see what was Rex's number again. I can't remember what his number was.
Ponkrell versus fifth brother.
Clone Captain Rex.
Yeah,
So
60, 55.
This is going to be interesting.
67.
Let's see what happens.
CT, what was he? Oh yeah, CT 7567. Stand down. Something like that.
So we got Waxer from this arc with and without the eyebrow paint. So I don't know. There's a lot of cool clone designs in that arc as well. They could do a little box set if they put out Ponkrell of the different clones and stuff. But
It's true. In terms of matchups, John, have we had many characters come up against each other more than once?
over year.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure. That's something interesting. I'll take a look at.
Sorry,
I'm
more work.
I'm disgusted that you don't have that information, John, to be
I know.
honest.
I purge a lot of this information the second it's over, and then I scramble for the next year.
Call yourself an expert. That's just doesn't even know his own composition.
I have to remember all the matchups over 5 years. Excuse me.
And the points totals that they got in each round as well. If
Yeah.
Where they ranked and where they ended up and everything. Yes.
Yeah. Who beat him in, the first ever March Madness in round one?
I have info of who they lost to every time, and so let me see. Ponkrell has lost to Dooku, and the first time in Revan. The first 2 times that he lost, he beat Balin last year. I think at a certain point, people were like, "Yeah, we know Balin's probably he's got a good chance of coming to the line." Balin was number 1 last year.
We are currently at 56% for Ponkrell. We're going to give it another 20 seconds because he's fairly ahead.
Doesn't the chat know which channel they're watching this on, Tim? That was 56% for Ponkrell. Really? Jeez.
57% now.
Oh, that didn't help.
Every time you think of Ponkrell, do you just flash to Dexter's butt crack being, scratched?
I think it's got a little bit something to do with that. Yeah, I just thought that was executed pretty poorly, wasn't it? The CGI was naff, and I don't know. I thought that whole sort of 50s diner thing was a bit weird. Anyway, I don't know, but
fair enough.
But I did like the Clone Wars arc that he was in. Loads of action with clones. Yep. It was a really good few episodes. So
2 double. Yeah.
No, he's worthy of the deluxe card. I think that would be.
Well, each one, John. It's a double bladed. Was it like 2 green? I thought it was green, blue, or was it two greens, 2 blues?
I think it's double green and double blue. Yeah.
Right.
But
I thought either end
Yeah.
was a different color. I couldn't tell. I was swinging them around so fast or whatever.
yeah.
Ponkrell took it with 57% in the chat. So he goes through, and we'll find out who he's going to be up against next. So the next matchup is Omega versus Garandan. Easy one for me. He's my number one. I like the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Don't care so much for Omega, whatever her name is, however you pronounce it. But Garandan for me. Chris.
I think the thing is, Garandan, the actual figure that we already have, it's an incredible sculpt, but very, very, very much lacking in the articulation side of things. I think I'd rather see an updated Garandan over an Omega personally. So yeah, it is a great sculpt, and I know this goes against John's rule of new, unexisting, over existing, but yeah, Garandan for me.
John.
If you did like yoga in the streets of Mos Eisley or something, or like a bunch of backflips, then I'd be more worried about the articulation.
Touche.
He doesn't. So a new Garandan would be awesome. He'd be great on the card. He'd be great for the streets of Mos Eisley, but I got to go Omega.
Yeah.
2-1. Nick?
I don't like Omega enough, really. I don't dislike her. I thought she was really good in that last season as well. And I'd love to see her in live action if they got like her older, say, have a kind of a Boba Fett thing, Alpha Omega. If they could work something out, like in a decade, they did some kind of like movie of some kind. I don't know. But yeah, the Garandan card back, the idea of getting that is just, too appealing. So I'm going to go Garandan just to wrap up. But all that existing figure needs is, it's just, I hate the cloth. The robe is terrible, and I must try swapping my Darth Malgus cloak on that, because I'm sure that might work. Maybe, I don't know.
He's a little inaccurate. They kind of over-designed him based on the actual movie.
Okay, so Garandan 3-1 on that one.
Charlie Ward in the chat points could be retooled. Garandan could be retooled for the chappie who calls the speeder in the Mandalorian, that very first episode of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, and the assassin as well. The sniper guy.
Mm-hmm.
He would be awesome for the Streets of Mos Eisley thing they're doing as well, wouldn't he? Come on.
Yes.
Wow.
I just see Hero Collections, aka Brandon from Hasbro, is watching. I know you're a Black Series guy, but this is for Vintage Collection, so please, if you're going to design stuff, give it to the TVC team too, please. I
thought you were going to say, please leave the chat.
Brandon loves TVC as well, man. He collects it. He's well, not as much
like
as
a nice guy. Welcome to the. I saw him on the stream for the first time. I know he's been kind of kicking around the UK for a little bit, right? But welcome.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Right. Okay, let's get on to the next matchup, and then we'll be on the other side of the bracket in a second. So, Chancellor Palpatine Jedi arrest versus Shasateel. Chris, you go first.
As rubbish as the Chancellor Palpatine arrests, what red clothes is it, John? That we already have. We don't have a Shasateel at all, and again, that fits into the Jabba's Palace diorama. So, Shasha for me as well, please.
John.
Yeah, this is hard because I think I definitely want, again, like I said with Caddy, I want more prequel characters. I want more updates like this, and I think they're important to bringing, the 20-year nostalgia cycle into the line. People like that, people like me, but I don't have a Shasateel at all, so I got to go Shasateel this time.
Okay, I'll go next, and John, and then Nick, you can go after if that's okay. I do want both as well, but I'm going to go for Shasateel. Same reasons as you, John, and also we've seen that character used in new media as well, like the species. I think there's like a Republic officer guy.
Yep.
Who wears similar to
General Madine.
General Madine.
Yep.
with
Yes.
the head, isn't there? So they could, get that sculpt out there, and then they can use it for multiple things. And
definitely.
also we get the one that we need for our Jabba's scenes as well. So Nick?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I'd love that species skeleton crew. Works for that too. But yeah, Chancellor Pepper Potine. We need an update on that. I'd love that. And it's also not just Jedi arrest, it's also that scene with Anakin as well.
So who are you going with?
I'm going with Palpatine, because it's not just, it's the Sith converted. It's almost like he almost tempts him, doesn't he, in that corridor?
Yeah. But I think
initially the plan, I think, but before they stretched it out. Yeah.
I think the rest of us voted for
so
Shasta Dave, right? So
that's not a bad loss. I'd love that as well, obviously.
And this is the brutality of the bracket. Because when matchups like that happen, it is difficult, because I'm sure most people would agree that they'd want that Emperor's the Palpatine as well, Chancellor.
Yeah, like Lorena says, he wears it in Clone Wars a lot too. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Baze Malbus versus 2-1B. I'm going to go Baze Malbus on this. I think he's really high up in my bracket, maybe even number 2 or 3. I do really want a 2-1B as well, especially. I mean, it's an original 96 for a start. We want him in the line, but also he was in Ahsoka as well, with the scene with Sabine when she's in hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it when they do that crossover and they pull in things from when they do that. So, but I am going to go Baze Malbus because I love Rogue One, and we have his pal Chirrut, so we need him really badly. John?
Yeah, 2-1B would be great, but I got to go Baze first.
Nick?
I'd love to say Baze. I was almost going to say.
Sorry, John, cut you off.
No, you're good.
I was just going to say I'd love to say Baze, and I'd love it, but I will stay faithful to the 96 on that one, just to crank them out, man, and get them.
Down to you, Chris.
This really is a tough one. I placed 2-1B higher on my list initially to try and make sure we got on the bracket, because we do need a new one. Again, it's the articulation, it's that original 96, it's the fact that it can go into so many other bits and pieces. I'd love him for the Rogue One, in the Rogue One deco as well, for one of Saw's mercenaries and what have you. But that 5 POA Baze just isn't good enough, whereas you need Baze to be a bit more action oriented than the 5 POA one is. So Baze for me on that.
So that's 3 for Baze
as well, isn't it? The facial paint, or something's wrong with it. It's not great.
He needs to hold the blaster with 2 hands, which he can't even do that.
Yeah.
That 3 for Baze.
That 2-1B that I opened from the 30th anniversary, that was a decent one. That was Revenge of the Sith kind of thing. But the scale of that looked nice. You can imagine it in TVC.
Yeah.
Isn't he a little bit different, though?
He is different.
Style,
the scale of it, the size of his body should surely be similar to what 2-1B is. I don't know. It's a bit too big, isn't he? He's wide, and the Power of the Force 2, which is the latest one, isn't it? That's
right. That completes the one side of the bracket.
Well, it's only been an hour, so we're right.
Yeah, no, we're doing all right. Okay,
good.
We did all the intro and everything, saying hello to people and all that before. So we're getting through it. And we're gonna move straight on. We're gonna go to Wrecker or Yachts Oren.
Check your chat, Tim.
Sorry.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Cheers, Marco. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that, man. Glad you're enjoying it. It's always a lot of fun, this stream. So I'm loving it as well. So appreciate that, man. Thanks for the support. Okay. I do apologize. Whilst I'm sort of doing the spreadsheet, I don't have enough chance to look at the chat as I would like. So thanks for pointing that out, Chris. And I apologize to everyone else that's commenting that I may have missed your comments. So we're going to go with John to begin with on this one. Wrecker or Yachts?
Yachts would be cool, but I gotta say he can get wrecked because I gotta go Wrecker.
Dear, oh dear.
Okay.
Somebody asked for more quips, so here you go.
Nick?
I love Woof to bits, and I don't think you can. I don't really want another character looking like him. I know he finishes his skiff, but I don't know, man. Who was the other guy who's a green Nikto that we all want? He was the guy who was with the
Jiran.
gear. Yeah, I'd sooner him. So this guy, I don't know. Oh, I don't know, man. Oh God, I'll vote for Wrecker because it's disgusting that we haven't had all these characters anyway, man. And you know what I mean? Disgusting. So I'll vote for Wrecker. Should already
Chris?
have him.
My number 7 pick on my top 25 was Yachts Oren. The only way you can get him at the moment is a Sigma statue from like 1984 or something like that.
I was wondering who that was.
Yeah, Yachts Oren for me, absolutely. Again, like I say, if Hasbro are going to make any of the Bad Batch next, it should be Wrecker. And I don't expect him to get any further than this first round. I'm just really pleased he got on the bracket. So I feel like I'm just proud my kid just turned up. He got on the team. Well done. Yachts Oren for me, but I can't see him getting any further.
They could easily repurpose Woof, couldn't they, for that? Easy.
Parts of the rest of him's quite different. He's got satchels and things in weird places, and the bandoliers. But yeah,
there's 2 for Wrecker, 1 for Yachts, right? So it's down to me to either take it to a poll or. I do really want Yachts as well. I would say he's on the other skiff, right?
He's on the second skiff. Yeah, the non.
Which we don't really have. Like, we'd need a lot of other characters to fill that out as well, right?
Yep. The prisoner skip is done, but the we need a lot for the other one.
We need a lot for the Bad Batch as well, though.
I'm going to put. This will disgust a lot of people. I'm going to put Wrecker through because we do need the Bad Batch, and out of all of the matchups, this is the one where I can put one through, I think, and for the element of time as well, so we don't have to go to a poll. I'm just kidding. But I'm putting Wrecker through. We do need the Bad Batch, and he's actually the one.
Bad Batch is more like,
we should have as well, yeah. But he's actually out of all of the Bad Batch, he's my least favorite as well, really. But let me just see if I can find his thing.
That's what I mean, man. Like, I'd want Giran before him. I don't know. They're all the same.
We got a Giran in the Legacy collection.
Yeah, I know.
I'll make you a custom card. I'll Photoshop you up a card. It'll be great. Where is he?
I'm trying to find.
There we go. Nope,
they are cool, those green Niktos, aren't they, man? They're my favorite nowadays, really.
Here he is.
There he is. Yeah. Sorry, they should have come in order. I don't know why they didn't, but
I tried to upload them from your folders so that we would come. I thought these ones would be further down the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Kira versus Clone Commando. Oh my god. I'm going to go to Chris while I just consult my top 25.
Consult your list. I think Kira absolutely needs to be in the vintage collection in some form or another. But what they could do with that Clone Commando sculpt, the all new one, is, I think that's the exciting bit. That could lead to the Squadron Republic Commando, additional ones that we've seen in the Bad Batch and what have you. So yeah, I'd want to see a brand new Clone Commando, because the current one, all of mine, they've got a really loose waist joint. The arm articulation isn't up to scratch. So yeah, definitely an all new Clone Commando for me.
John, is Kira the only character from Solo that made the bracket?
How dare you forget our personal champion, Dryden Voss, because he's back.
Oh, sorry, and Dryden.
But yes, those are the only two.
Right.
on the bracket. Yeah.
Because I'll go next. So I've got Kira at 23 and the Clone Commando at 24.
Wow.
Ooh.
And this is really difficult one. Because I really do want Kira. However, what Chris is saying, there's more mileage out of the Clone Commando. You could get a lot more figures out of that. And I did like the white ones in Bad Batch. They were pretty cool. So I'm gonna. This is one where because of who they're matched up against, I'm going with the one that's further down my list, which is the Clone Commando. So that's 2 for the Clone Commando. John?
I would love to see all the Clone Commando repaints, but I think the Shadows of the Dark Side or Legacy, whenever they're not that bad, the ones that we already have. So I would, and 5 POA Kira looks good, but I'm going to go with Kira this time. I stopped short of. I was gonna say I wouldn't hate if they used some of the Hunter parts for a Clone Commando, but I don't want to get double booted off the stream, so I'll just go with Kira.
Okay, Nick.
I was about to say before I voted for Kira, I was going to say so long as she's got the red cape, then yes. You just said, John, my 5 POA one's looking good, but we don't have a 5 POA one with a red cape, man.
We don't.
Which of course, that is it for me, man. That would be her ultimate look in the film, and if that's the one they're doing, then 100%. So I'll go with that one. I'll vote Kira anyway based on that.
So that's a tie. Then I'm glad because they are both on my thing. So
it's a tough,
and they're close, 31 to 34 on the bracket, so they're not too far off anyway.
Yeah,
I kind of expect the Clone Commando will do well.
We'll take it to the chat to decide for us.
And I said, but because in the movie, at least post Corellia, post without her dress, she wears a dress like a black pantsuit, but she has a jacket and then she has like a skirt and then she has pants. So there's a few. It's unlikely we'll get any Kira, but once they do one, they can do a couple different versions. They can put them in multi-packs with, a repaint of Han or whatever, or a Dryden Voss set, something like that. So there is some reuse possibility there.
Yeah.
So where are we at? Wow, Kira's miles, like not miles, but a hefty lead. I was going to say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I'm not surprised because she did look very, very cool in that outfit in the Spice, Kessel scenes, and she's on my list as well. So either of these going through, I don't mind.
Kira, you and I will be working together more closely from now on.
That version of Maul did make the bracket the first year, but then he dropped off quite a bit. Probably because we haven't seen anything following up on that 8 years later, whatever it was. I
mean, you look at that Solo line. I know it's 5 POA, but they are some really good sculpts in there.
Yeah,
they've nailed a lot of the characters, and the fact that they actually started posing some of them, like even the troopers, with their arms bent, they could hold their gun in 2 hands. It did make a huge difference. So. Decent line, but
they look good.
TVC.
And I forgot there was the Corellia version of Kira as well, which is also a great. I think she looks great. They don't have photo reel yet, but that and the Vandor version are both pretty good. But want a TVC one.
Kira's at 56%. We are going to give 10 more seconds because I can't really see it changing too much. So you've got 10 seconds to vote.
Tim, stop everything. Hal Runner _base has unsubscribed.
Look at the comment.
Okay. 58%. She's won. She's going through.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I do sort of expect the Clone Commando will win.
Kira. Sorry, go on, John.
Crimson Dawn has defeated the Republic.
You can't leave. And she's done things you'd never. I haven't seen that film for a while. I wouldn't mind watching that again.
Yeah.
I love that whole ending, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Right, here
Oh,
we
here
go.
he is.
Dryden Voss versus Jackie Lon.
Oh, last year's winner. Come on, Dryden.
Nick, who do you want to go for?
Oh, yeah, I've got to go with Dryden, man. Love that guy, man. Bring him on.
John?
Dryden's been on my list all 5 years, but Jackie is higher on my list this year, so I'll go with Jackie Lon. Between her and the Stranger, I think then I would be fine closing the book on Acolyte stuff, but I do really want her to kind of finish that main crew. But God, I need Dryden. Oh crap! Anyway, I'm
going with Dryden. So that's 2 for Dryden, 1 for Jackie, and who's left? Chris.
She did look good.
So do I tactically try not to make sure that he doesn't get too far? And no, I think I'm fairly safe putting Dryden through at this stage. Again, he's the baddie in a Star Wars motion picture. Why don't we have him?
I know, it's ridiculous.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And we said before, but that was kind of the Black Series wave where it started to really diverge from, figures that they weren't making in 3.75 at all. That just has gotten worse and worse since then.
Yeah. It's
And
so
he
frustrating.
appeared. It was the final season of the Clone Wars, was it not?
Yeah, it was a hologram. With Maul.
Yeah. I'm hoping that there's
Why?
enough different characters on this year's bracket that the same 4 people don't make Dryden Voss win again. 2 years in a row. Hopefully there's some different characters that are going to, come up against him,
You see, I knew Luke was going to get made, and Luke did get made since last year, and I made him. I put him over Luke, which is just unthinkable. It was unthinkable at the time.
Right, next up, 2 Tubes versus Mon Mothma from Sullust. Nick?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'll go with 2 Tubes.
Reason?
I love Mon Mothma, but yeah, move me on.
John?
Yeah, we need Return of the Jedi. We need any Mon Mothma in TVC, but I think 2 Tubes would be my first pick here.
Chris?
I think the 2 Tubes figure gets you more mileage, but that old Mon Mothma figure really is awful. I'm going to throw down for Mon Mothma in this one.
I've got 2 Tubes at number 12, Mon Mothma at 15, and I'm going to stick with that. 2 Tubes. He's too much of a cool-looking character, and I love Andor, even though I really do want Mon Mothma from Return of the Jedi. So does that make him win? Is that 3-1?
Yeah.
For 2 Tubes? Yeah.
Like you were alluding earlier, they could do it maybe even as a pack-in with the Partisan X-Wing or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not to encourage them to make me spend $125 to get one figure, but that's what it takes.
They're way ahead of you, probably, John, to be honest, on that sort of thing.
Isn't it weird though? They just didn't develop. They did the sculpt obviously for that 5 POA thing, and they had the option of doing another character, the other guy, Benthic, and they had Edrio, and they just didn't do it. Madness. Talk about not using a sculpt or whatever.
Yeah. Right, we've got to move on. C-3PO versus General Grievous. I'll go first on this one. C-3PO is number 2 on my list. The amount of mileage they can get from a C-3PO protocol droid is unbelievable, and they should do it. Even if he might be rumored for this year already, I do not know. But I'm still putting him through over General Grievous. Be interested to know what Chris says on this one.
This is a really tough one. I think the Grievous we have in TVC still struggles to stand up a little bit.
Still, always, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you've drilled the whole. Sorry, Chris, I'm interrupting your thing, man. Sorry.
He's a bit flimsy. Could do with another go at him. There's a lot of C-3POs out there. Oh God, I'm going to go Grievous. Sorry, I think I want both. With this one.
John?
Yeah, there are a lot of both already, and I want both. But like you said, the just the sheer amount of mileage they can get out of a new protocol droid sculpt is mind-boggling. 6 million forms of C-3PO repaints, so I got to go with C-3PO.
Very good, very good.
Not this guy. I swear to God, I'm so glad that they said that land speeder had some old figures in it. Because if I have to buy this guy one more time, if I have to buy, I don't have to buy anything. But if they repack him one more time, I'll be not excited about that.
Yeah.
So need a new 3PO.
Nick?
Yeah, and if you're watching Hasbro, if you do C-3PO Ultimate, if you could shine him up like Vac Metal styley, then I'll be well happy. And it's got to be, I'm going to vote 3PO because I want him on that New Hope card back, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Grievous is a great figure. And also, he does need, if they did do him again, please give him peg holes.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good figure. And there's ways of getting him. I know he's expensive, but there's ways of getting him, if you, in the second-hand market.
All right, on to the next one. Second Sister Inquisitor versus Agent Callus. And we'll go to Nick to start with this time.
Really? What a crap bracket, man. Or tie.
You're not happy with that match?
Don't blame the bracket.
Hey now.
I love the animated stuff, but Second Sister. Oh, I'll go with Callus because he's got a bit more about him, hasn't he? I like him as a character.
John?
Turning rebel.
I'll go with. Yeah, I think both are great characters, but if I'm going to go strictly by the rules, we already have a animated 5POA Callus. Even though I do really want one to go with all the new Rebel stuff, but Second Sister Inquisitor, let's get it done already. And Second Sister is not the beefcake, according to the comments. She is from Jedi Fallen Order, Trilla Siduri.
Yeah. Chris?
I think Trilla would be a great figure, but Agent Callus for me. I think there's plenty of scope for a bit of army building with an Agent Callus figure. You make sure that the helmet's removable. You can swap some heads under there, get a few different figures out of that one. Yeah, so Callus for me.
Right. Looking at my top 25 here, because just then I was about to vote for the Second Sister because I think I've had her on my previous years. I think I had her on there last year. But because of the Rebels and the Ghost and everything to support this year, I put Callus on my list at number 22. So I'm going to go with him because he is on my top 25 and the other one isn't. But that doesn't mean to say that I don't want Second Sister from Fallen Order because she is super cool. So that's it. Is that 3 for Callus?
I think so, yeah.
And again, reiterate, I want them all, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah, it just all depends who they're matched up against, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
What color am I looking for? Dark blue.
Dark blue, yeah.
There he is.
There he is. And the next, let's see what Ezra does, but he's right there.
Ooh.
Are you preempting Ezra going through there, John?
No. I realize I should bite my tongue, but
this is a tough one for some people. I would suggest SM33 versus Ezra Bridger from Lothal. So that's season 1 Ezra Bridger, right? He is on mine once again because I want to support the integral Rebels characters that we don't have. So he was number 16 on my list. SM isn't on my list, so I'm going with Ezra. So we'll move on to John.
I'll go with Ezra also. We have 5 POA animated versions, but the Epic World of Action Adventure series, Hero series, whatever it's called this week, 4-inch line is getting SM33 at some point. I know he's not anywhere near TVC quality, but I don't know. I'll go with Ezra for now. I want them both.
Chris?
Yeah, I think it is going to have to be a case of we're not seeing much skeleton crew coming into the line yet. That Epic Heroes might be the only way we're getting them, but that season 1 Ezra would look great with the season 1 Kanan and Hera and everyone else that we've got to go with it.
We don't have Hera yet, no.
No, we don't have Hera yet. Sorry, Zeb that we have got. So Ezra for me, yeah.
So that's 3 Ezras. So it doesn't really matter what you think, Nick. But what do you think?
I wouldn't have voted for Ezra Bridger, no.
You wouldn't have done?
No, I wouldn't have, no.
SM, right, okay.
It would have been him, yeah.
I'm sort of worried that they're...
I know. I was just going to say, I know they've done the realistic other, what do they call that, rebels or whatever, but I still just can't picture him in the real world because he's just an animated character, isn't he? We've got that. He exists as what he is anyway. So
he's in the Ahsoka series. You don't have to look too hard to picture him. He exists.
Well, there is an actor who played him, obviously. I know, but
and they did the Black series did a realistic one before he had an actor, but I think that's a good figure.
That droid looks so good, though, man. Just imagine that.
He does.
What the hell are you thinking, lads? What the fucking hell are you doing?
This goes back to this thing about completing things, the missing gaps, and that's a big gap. Like they should have made him when they made the others.
I sort of feel
now everyone's asking for him because they didn't do it. Like
I'm worried that because they finished the later season looks and they've only done some of the early season looks, I want to make sure that they finish the early season looks as well, and they can use half of the existing HasLab Hera, and they can use a lot of the Rebel season 3 Sabine just to repaint the other ones and stuff. And there's a few armor differences.
But they've only just started doing that anyway. I mean, what's the one in TVC? I haven't even opened it yet. That latest TVC one. How old is he there? What era is that? Is that shorter hair? Later seasons of Rebels? Is it?
Yeah, Ezra's later season 3, 4.
Oh, all right, fair enough. You know what I mean? That's not a million miles away from. And that droid is, oh God Almighty! What are you doing voting for Ezra? He's there, isn't he? God Almighty, that's ridiculous.
Out of curiosity, John, obviously you mentioned Hera. Did she get many votes for a season 1 look at all?
Let me see. She was on like 21 lists for season 1, so she would have ranked around like 240 something. So it wasn't a huge ton. But again, and I don't know how much of that is people don't notice the differences between her.
Well, this is it. I think. I think there's a big difference between like an Ezra that's like a young kid to an adult, whereas two like the same character in just slightly different outfits or whatever. Like, there's a bit of a big difference. Like the Ezra that we have just doesn't go with any of the other Rebels characters that we have. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean when you say we need it. There's a gap there. These things are only just happening, in my opinion. All this Rebels stuff, the Ghost and everything. So, but where was other items? I'm not saying that droid is only new as well, isn't he? But
but what I mean by that is I don't want to. What I mean by is I just wanted them to get it done. I don't want to be where I am now with Baze Malbus. Do you know what I mean? Like still asking for 5 years. Do you know what I mean? Just get it done, and then and then we don't have to go on about it for 5 years. Do you know what I mean? So
it become 10 years, 15, 20.
Exactly, yeah.
Or never buy it, put it on our shelves, and never look at it again.
Right, Ventress versus Pike Soldier. Nick.
Oh, Ventress, 100%. Yeah. Wow.
John.
I want the Pike Soldier, and I want the Bounty Hunter version of Ventress, or more than any others. But she has been on my list all 5 years, so in solidarity, I got to go with Ventress.
Chris.
Like you, John, the Bounty Hunter Ventress, I think, is a much more interesting design. I'd love to see that one. But if a basic Ventress gets us along the road to that one, that'll help. But Ventress for me.
3 Ventresses. I think I had Ventress on my last year. I couldn't fit her on this year, and I had Pike Soldier at 25. My last one, just because again I feel that that's a big miss for what else we've got from the Book of Boba Fett. But It doesn't matter because 3 versus 1 for Ventress.
I was always dead
Sorry
against
to-
having figures of people that we hadn't seen that like a live actor for, but then I opened that Kanan figure recently and that blew me away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cracking
I
figure.
mean, I've got no problem with Ventress going through. I definitely want a Ventress figure without a doubt.
I'd love somebody
she's-
to play Ventress or them to have her in something live action, you know, a series of
Yeah.
something.
So they can just
Then you have
repack
face.
with a different head sculpt.
That's it.
Crosshair versus Galactic Marine. Galactic Marine is on my list. Crosshair isn't. I put Wrecker through before. This time I'm going to go with Galactic Marine. John?
The Galactic Marine we have is not great, but we have one. So I really like Crosshair. I know I've strayed from that a little bit the last couple of rounds, but a Crosshair, at least the Imperial one, is number 3 for me and has been for a while. So I really want Crosshair. Let's finish the Bad Batch already.
Chris?
Neither really excite me. I'll go the rule of we already have a Galactic Marine, so Crosshair for me.
So that's 2 Crosshairs, 1 Galactic Marine. Nick,
Well,
you get the...
yeah, I'll go Galactic Marine just to let it go to the poll.
Okay.
We do have one, but he could be improved, and he's a great looking character. I mean,
When I tried to pull a screenshot for some of the image, like they're barely in the movie and they're just like kind of on the sides of the thing.
I
But, you know.
love the way you just see their feet when he's sort of slowing down.
Yeah,
and
that's a great
getting
shot.
grip. Yeah, it just keeps going.
But Crosshair is an actual character with an arc and, you know,
I know,
lines of
yeah.
dialogue and stuff. So
Yeah.
I could really imagine him being the most interesting face of
Yeah.
all of the crew, you know, and you can imagine that figure being amazing as well.
What did you make?
You
of
may have
the
answered this
Hot Toys
already.
version? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I was just about to say, John, did you split Imperial versus...
No,
Clone Force?
I combined them. I made sure that it wasn't double vote. So if anybody voted for both versions, I removed the lower ranked points, and then I did combine them. And I think it was for Crosshair, it was
Crosshair's going to win this, I think. He's
Yeah,
on
he is.
60, 62%, 61%. It's going
Great,
back
great
up
character.
he was the
64%.
number 3 seed.
Most
So
interesting
for the
one.
Imperial. I mean, quite a few people voted for Imperial. I think more people either didn't specify or said Clone Force 99 than said Imperial this time. Maybe because he went back to wearing the Clone Force
Yeah.
99 armor in season 3. But I think one could beget the other, so hopefully they do both.
It's gone down. It's at 56% now, so we're going to give it 30 seconds. 57%, 50. Yeah, it's going back up now. So if you haven't voted in the chat, be sure to vote in the poll for which character you want to go through. I'll give you 10 seconds. He's going up rather than down, so 60% now. If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to kill the poll. And 61% is Crosshair, isn't it?
That's all right.
Looking good.
It's going the way I want it to go, so let's end it right now.
Right, Crosshair's dark blue. Let's see if I can find him. He's probably... There he is.
There he is.
I was helping a friend with some storage stuff, and he had a box of it had to be 100 Galactic Marines in there, just kind of all thrown in there. It was like an art project or something, just like all the Galactic Marines sitting there. So he needs to update that box for his storage unit to be fully updated. So, but for now, we gotta have Crosshair.
Plo Koon versus Qui-Gon Jinn. Chris, you go first with this one.
I think I don't know if you've seen him. Charlie Hopkinson does the deep fake Qui-Gon on YouTube. I've been really enjoying that, and I think it makes me enjoy the character of Qui-Gon all the more. So the rather not so great one we have in TVC, I'd like an update to that. Qui-Gon for me.
John?
Yeah, I'll go with Qui-Gon as well.
Nick?
Yeah, Qui-Gon does need an update, a facial update, most definitely. But I'm going to go with Plo. Yeah. If you're gonna, yeah, Attack of the Clones card would be nice. Well, there's loads of cards you could do for him.
I want both of these. Neither of them on my list, so this is difficult.
Poll.
I think if I go for Plo, it will take it to a poll, and I think I'm going to do that because I think if I was to choose, he would just edge it for me. I feel it'd be pretty cool to get a new sculpt of that species.
Plo poll.
So let's do another poll, a Plo poll, as you say, and this will be another interesting one. I feel this one might be pretty close.
And there are a lot. I mean, there are different versions you can do for Plo Koon. I did combine the different votes for like the Clone Wars Gauntlet version, which doesn't have the big robe. If they just sculpt him properly, even and put the robe on top for his prequel version, then you could easily turn that into a Clone Wars version or Jedi Power Battles version. But Qui-Gon could also be used for the Spirit version from Obi-Wan, stuff like that, and probably different Jedi as well.
Oh, and it is close. It's at 50.
He looked weird as that Spirit, man. They should have just used some kind of like AI deep fakey kind of like. It looked like older him with a wig on, man. I know he wore a wig in the original one anyway.
It was,
yeah.
They made him look just like he did. They've got the technology, and it was a ghost because they shimmer and stuff. They could have definitely done something to make him look just like he did in Phantom Menace, but he didn't.
Well,
and what was that deep fake thing you were talking about, Chris, before? What was that thing?
Charlie Hopkinson. He does like sort of skits as Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon.
Is it them sitting on the couch together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
And they take the mick out of everything, basically.
Oh, right.
Very good.
I think I might have seen something like that.
Worth a watch.
Have you seen Skywalker Stories? They're really good. That's kind of like but that's kind of serious storytelling type thing. And it's all AI sort of. It's great. Better than what Disney are doing, to be honest.
Right, I'm going to give 10 to 15 seconds now. Plo is at 55%. He's kind of hovered around that for a while now. So,
and we've lost John.
Oh, he's gone.
It's a bathroom break.
He's gone.
Yeah, Plo's going to take it. 55%. The chat has spoken.
Fair enough.
Defeat. So there he is.
I think to be fair with that, the Plo Koon, even the first one they did in 2002, the head sculpt was great. It was a weird sort of pre-posed action stance, but the head sculpt was great.
Yeah. Absolutely, Chris, yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Master, so I guess that's Revenge of the Sith. Obi versus Endor Rebel Commando. Wow. Oh my god. I'm gonna go first on this one. I'm going with Obi. I think the one that we have is terrible. And I think it's worse than the Endor Rebel Commando that we have. This is going to really upset my buddy Phil the Force, because I know he really wants the Endor Rebel Commando, and I do too. I really do. But I just, as I say, I just think the Obi that we have is worse than the Rebel Commando that we have.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But I want them to update both, just to be clear. But I'm going Obi. Nick?
Well, like I say, you've got them both, haven't you? They already exist. But of the two, Obi-Wan Kenobi needs the most work. I'd be happy for them to put out a 4-pack of that, the one we've already got. The two, technically. And then another couple. I don't know. Is it because of the ball joint hips or something? That's what the problem is it?
Yeah, he's got swivel hips.
He's He still looks great, doesn't he? But the Obi-Wan's dodgy, that face of the Revenge of the Sith.
So you're going OB, yeah?
Waxy,
two
isn't it? Yeah.
Two for OB, John.
Yeah, agreed. The Obi-Wan is just so bad. It's been 20 years since we've gotten a full update, and other than like 5 POA or whatever. But Rebel Commando, a new one could be awesome, and they could have all the different jackets and coats and everything. But now that we got the new Anakin coming, we need a new Obi-Wan to go with him.
Yeah, that's another good reason for it as well. Chris, it's 3-1. It doesn't really matter, but what would you go for? Oh, here we go. He's got visual aids.
Look at that mad mullet he's got. It looks like he's wearing a helmet, doesn't it?
I mean, I know it doesn't matter, but if we're talking about Rebel Commando, this Power of the Force 2-1 is the closest we have as an update to the vintage Kenner one. Everything else that we've had has been different Rebel Commandos, but not the Kenner one. So, John, was it a particular one that was being voted for, or?
No, I combined them. Some people said Judd or Page, and I've said it before, but I'll get on my soapbox about the jumpsuit again.
There is no jumpsuit.
There's no jumpsuit. There's no jumpsuit. There's no Great Pauldron. There's no jumpsuit. He's wearing a matching jacket and matching pants because they're all wearing. A lot of them are wearing the same green pants, and then they're wearing either a vest or a green jacket or a trench coat or something. So they can do. I think one version would beget all the different versions. They can do different heads and multi-packs and whatever. But I see your point on this guy. Yeah, the other ones we've gotten have the different vests or trench coats or whatever. But
and everybody, look at my hair. I look like Kylo Ren.
Chris, who are you going for then?
I'd go for Rebel Commando. I still like that 2005 Obi-Wan. I would absolutely take an update, but I think the Rebel Commando, something that is more akin to the original 96 one, would be a better update.
He can't hold a lightsaber properly, that Obi-Wan, can he? That weird. He's got that.
He's got that weird claw, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like grabbing a.
Don't need.
He's grabbing the chips out of the bag or something, or the crisps, as you lot would say, I guess. But
Here we go, John. Moving on, mate. Simalu, Imperial Dignitary,
sweet Simalu
versus Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Oh God.
I mean, if anybody's going to vote for Kylo Ren, it's going to be me. But my sweet boy, I gotta finish the 96.
I actually remember something about last year's stream about this. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like your argument for like one figure, and then when it came to the Dignitary, it's like
yeah,
you couldn't back it up at all. But it's like whatever, you want him, so it's fine. It's fine.
Is he the most exciting? No. Is he anywhere near the top 10,000 most exciting? No. But they backed themselves into a corner. They made him 50 years ago, and they haven't made him since, so they got to remake him. But so for that reason, he'll be my sweet boy, my sweet Simalu.
Okay, Chris.
Easiest matchup on the board for me, Simalu.
Nick.
I've just thought of a song. Simalu, John with the mustache is loving you. Oh, Simalu. So I'm
beautiful.
I'm going to vote for Simalu too.
That's 3 for Simalu.
Amazing character.
I got to go Simalu as well, man.
Yeah,
of course. When he's up against a character that I'm not massively a fan of course he has to go through.
He looks pretty cool though, doesn't he? In Rise of Skywalker, with the red.
I do want that version. It chaps my ass where they made, but they didn't even make a 5 POA line for that movie, 3.75.
No, they just aborted.
That's why we're still getting a lot of them on the
Pelimoto versus Padme. I'm going to go first on this one. So Geonosis Padme, we've got one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is, I combined, so some people voted for like her ripped up arena version, some voted for her full Droid Factory version, but I combined them. But we don't have a TVC version of her. No,
we don't.
We have plenty of,
we have
lots of both.
3.75 inch Black Series. It's not the worst figure. It's all right. It'll do for me. We don't have a Pelimoto. I sound like John. I'm going Pelimoto. She'll go with lots of things that we need, that we already have, rather. So I'm
You're
going
making a lot of
Pelly.
sense
John?
today, Tim. Yeah, you're making so much sense today. I gotta go with Pelly as well.
You're going Pelly as well?
Yeah. She's been on my list. I think she's my number 8. She goes with everything. She goes with the Razor Crest, the N1, the Cantina at this point.
Yeah.
Padme would be great, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we have a lot of her, but I have no Pelly motto. So.
I think that's probably the one figure that I was quite surprised that was on the bracket, if I'm honest, purely because I'm not saying that figure's amazing or anything, but we kind of do have that figure, fairly recently. If you know,
she was the 2013 one. That was one of the one. She was the first wave of the 3.75 inch Black Series, so she probably would have been in vintage if they continued it.
Yeah.
But doesn't really hold up to today's standards. So
no,
I get it.
Doesn't.
But it wasn't awful though.
No, it's not awful. Nick,
and I want new Padme.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Complete the crest. I've got that in mind. Yeah, I'm gonna go Pelly motto. Yeah.
That's 3 Pelly mottos. Chris?
Yeah, much like everyone else, Pelly's the one we don't have. Padme's the one we do. That Black Series Padme, I think if they'd have put her on a vintage card in that very first wave of TBC 2.0, they'd have got away with it. Now, not so much.
They won't now, no.
No. But
that
yeah,
card,
Pelly motto.
it's out there, isn't it? In retro, it's ridiculous. It's a shame that's not already been and gone. Yeah.
Carson Taver versus Dash Rendar. Nick?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go with Dash Rendar.
Okay, Chris?
Dash. Get him off steroids.
I like that Carson opens up a pilot body for some of the larger pilots. We could get quite a few out of that. I also love Dash Rendar and Shadows. Oh,
imagine how good that figure would be.
Yeah, I mean, let's go with Dash.
John?
You guys are sick. Every time I see Mr. Rendar, I got to dash in the opposite direction. I got to go with Carson Teva.
What do you not like about him? I remember this from last time, I think, or I've heard your
last
opinions.
time I just straight up said he sucked, and I didn't want to say it again, but I'll say it again. He sucks. Why? He's discount store Han Solo. He's the Han Solo we have at home. He's
fake Han Solo.
He's fake Han Solo. He's the Han Solo because Han Solo's in carbonite. We need a cool guy. So let's give him. He's so dated. He's so 90s. He's so cringe.
Let's bring him into the 2020. The 2020.
Don't hold back. Don't hold back, John.
No more shoulder pads. No more. He's got pouches all over the place. What is he carrying in there? He doesn't need that much stuff. He's fine. Get him out of here.
We've triggered him.
Wow, God, so much hatred for Dash Rendar.
Tyler keeps saying I hate the EU. I don't hate the EU. I just, I don't need a dash. I have a Dash Rendar already.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel, John?
The thing is, I don't have as much bile as John does for Dash Rendar, but I also don't have that much love for him either, really. And if it's between a choice of Carson Taver from live action that's been in multiple things now, then it's got to be him. So does that make it 2-2? It does. Yep. Let's go to the poll.
So yeah, all these apparent dash heads in the poll, they can vote for their favorite character. I do understand that that now the Black Series is getting Shadows of the Empire figures, and TVC hasn't had any, and 3.75 has had a few over the years.
But I don't want a Carson Taver before I get a Jet Porkins or a big Starklighter. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bit.
Oh, well, good thing we already have both of those guys.
Well, so you're right. All right.
We're set. But yeah, I don't know. I think he'd obviously be better.
He's not as
this is the most one-sided poll yet. It's calming down a little bit, but Carson's on 69% at the moment. He was as high as like 74%.
It's all right. The Dash fans are just a bit older. They're a little slower off the mark. Yeah. That's all it is.
Right, everybody vote as quick as you can because we've got to move on. But Carson's at 66% and it's not moving. So 67.
Somebody asked if they're making a live action Shadows of the Empire. Yeah, starring Chris Pratt as Dash Rendar, I'm sure.
Right, 5 seconds on this. He's not going to move.
If it was
much.
back in the day, though, imagine if Kurt Russell in it, who played Snake Plissken.
Yeah,
Him.
yeah.
He would have been a good Dash Rendar.
Almost like
Harrison.
his character in Big Trouble in Little China would have worked well for that.
Yeah.
They should have got Alden Ehrenreich to
test.
play him because he's basically Han Solo anyway.
Yeah, he screen tested, didn't he, for Han Solo as well?
Kurt Russell, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Runner-up Han Solo, Dash Rendar.
Now here's an interesting one. We've got Neil versus Captain Brutus. So,
oh wow!
Just put it in the chat for you, Tim. Just very quickly.
Sorry.
Still relates to the last thing.
Ken Plume, time for Tiva. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, Ken. Good thing for you is he's through. So, in the unofficial bracket, might I add. Right. So, guys, John, you start with this one.
I want them both, but and Tyler will get mad, but we are getting a Brutus in the Epic line. I know it doesn't count, but I got to go with Neil for this one.
Chris.
It is a tough one. To split it, I'm going to go for Brutus on this one. Then I'd happily take either.
Same. I enjoyed the show. Neil is one of these ones that I would like in the line, but then you've just got to do them all.
Yeah.
I feel Brutus. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that they didn't do the kids from that show. Brutus by himself in other scenes on your shelves and stuff like that would fit in other things. So, and he looks cool. I'm going for Brutus. So that's 2 for Brutus, 1 for Neil. Nick.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to boot Neil out now because I'm going to go with Brutus as well. He's just way too cool. And he's not a million miles away from Shoes, is he? So maybe it would help with the unlockage of him. I don't know. With the bits and bobs in the factory or whatever.
I think, what is this?
He's great. He looks great.
He has normal hands, whereas Shoes had I think they gave him gloves or something.
Yeah, they're obviously different species, aren't they? But they just reminded me. When I first saw him, I thought, oh wow, Cantina.
Yeah, he was a cool design. Right, Tech versus Ezra Bridger.
Oh my god, he's back.
Is that is that Peridia? Is it Peridia or is it Peridia? Someone let me know.
I think Peridia.
Peridia. Right, I'll go first on this one. I'm going with Tech all the way on this one. I like the Ahsoka show and everything, but the worst part of the Ahsoka show was that part of it on Peridia, with those little turtle guys and stuff like that. And I prefer Ezra's other looks. And if I was going to pick an Ezra from that point, I'd like him in the Stormtrooper outfit or Night Trooper outfit. Although that would maybe be a fairly easy one for them to do. But Tech all the way for me on this one. John?
I do want Ezra. I want them. They've done such a great job with Ahsoka series, but they've done such a crap job with Bad Batch that it's time for Tech.
Time for Tech. Nick, you don't really like Ezra, so I can imagine who you're...
I've wound my neck in a bit more now. Now I realise what Ezra we're talking about. And I have to say, I did like how he looked in the Ahsoka series, and it was nice to. This is where I want to put Ezra through, and you've got a live actor to base it on and stuff. You know what I mean? And I thought he looked great in the show, so I would put Ezra through. After my initial outburst, I'd be keen on that to be made.
Chris?
I don't need Space Moses, and Tech is the best of the Bad Batch. So Tech.
That's great.
It really is.
He's gone from Aladdin to
Aladdin to Moses.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to part the sea, I must admit. Right. So Tech, here he is. There we go. And that completes round one. So, and
Beautiful.
we're at the 2 hour mark. So we're on course for same as last year. Never mind, but it'll back. Right, let's do this. Let's see what the matchups are on the other side. Then let's do this.
Sometimes it only gets harder as we keep going, though. But you know,
That's
I don't
the
know.
thing,
It does. We're gonna try and do a speed round on this one.
Oof.
Yeah, all right. Bring it on.
Here
Okay,
we
so
go.
stranger versus client. John,
Stranger.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nick,
Client.
Chris,
Client.
Good.
and this is for me
Oh,
where I've got to have the client's got to go through 3-1 on the client.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So he moves. Look at how easy that is now. Look, I like this.
Great. Sorry, you don't get
Mara Jade versus Kiadi Mundi. Chris,
Kiadi Mundi.
Nick,
Kiari Mundi. He's older than the one we already have. If you already have the Black Series, Mara Jade.
John,
Tyler says, I hate the expanded universe, so I'd hate to let him down. I got to go with Kiadi Mundi.
and I'm going Kiadi Mundi as well.
And slide there.
Ooh, Shoosh versus Bosk. I'll go first. I'm going to put Bosk through. I want a new Bosk, and I don't tend to back him, or I haven't backed him that much over the years. But I think it's time that we get a new one. Swivel hips, awful flight straps, plastic dries and brakes. So I'm going with him.
And yeah, you've got loads of other shoes figures, haven't you, Tim? Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he won last figure standing. He's getting lots of support.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Bosk.
And George.
Chris?
I'm going to go Bosk as well. I think I want the RR shoes, but I think I'll take a new Bosk, and the spaces in the cantina will work for him as well.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, John, you're about to say something. What were you about to say?
George Lucas didn't spend his time and money erasing Bosk out of the movies like he did with Arlyle shoes. But so I don't know if that counts for anything. I want to hear what Nick says. I know what Nick's going to say, but
Talking about that movies because
Sorry, George Lucas. I'm going to go shoes just to ram it home, and also to say we needed a longer campaign. We probably would have him now, wouldn't we? I don't know. Would we? What do you reckon, boys?
I don't.
Longer campaign.
Don't know.
Be back. Yeah, no
John?
shoes.
I hate to send it to the chat, but I got to send it to the chat because I'm going to Arlyle.
You're going Arlo. Oh.
Give me a minute to recharge my AirPod.
Right, let's do the poll. Start the poll. Here we go. This is where it all comes down to like who they end up getting matched up with, because I really do want both of those. And as I say, Aliel did win last figure standing, and I know what he looks like. I'm hoping they're going to make him anyway at some point, hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm putting my weight on this particular one. I'm putting my weight behind Bosk. And wow, it's at 50. It's 50-50, 51% Aliel.
Wow.
Get voting, guys, because every vote will count on this one.
Tipping towards Aliel.
Or it just dropped back down to 50.
Wow. See, if you're really cantina focused, like we said, there's like 3 guys in the cantina wearing Bosk's outfit. So you know what?
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know.
50-50 again. Oh, my.
Bosk's gone up to 52.
Wow. People just love that yellow spaceman in the cantina, I guess, so much. So
You just influenced everyone, John.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everyone's saying
With
a few people. Stop
with
the
Arlyle,
polls.
you can get the other jacket with the Duros in the background of the Greedo shots that I didn't even know existed until the Cantina HasLab.
Boshek's another, isn't he?
Yeah, he wears the Bosk outfit in black.
Yeah. Right, Bosk is only climbing now, so he's 54%. It was 50% at one point. So I think that's the closest one we've had so far.
Yeah, it's looking like it's over.
So we'll give 10 more seconds, and then we'll carry
It's
on.
not going to be enough.
I recently watched
Oh,
I've been going through the original Planet of the Apes series, and in the third one where they wear the space suits, that's another one of the Cantina guys is wearing that space suit. I think the Elros Medak, the Duros, is also wearing that. So you can get another Elros Medak, or you can get a one of the Super 7 Reaction 5 POA Apenauts, and wow.
Might be the way.
Interesting stuff, man. No, I was being serious.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't know.
No, I wasn't being
Sometimes
sarcastic.
when I go so deep in the background of some of these scenes, I don't know how many people are thrilled about that, but I like finding out where the stuff's coming from, where it's reused from.
Right, Chris, Fozek or Echo?
Fozek for me.
Chris, Fozek or Echo?
Fozek for me.
Oh, sorry. Did I just echo? Was I in an echo chamber then?
You were echoing that one, yeah.
I just asked the same questions to the same person. Nick, I meant, sorry.
I'd like
that
to
counts as
go
two.
for Fozek, please. Thank you. Yeah, Fozek.
2 for Fozek. John.
Wow, you really want to hear Chris's opinion on this one, I guess. But I'm going to go. I got to go Echo.
Echo.
Imagine Fozek.
So I voted Jedi Temple Guard against Fozek last time, but now he's up against Echo. I put through the other. I put through Wrecker. I put through Tech.
You're looking tactically. Look at this.
I'm not. I'm just.
Who could Bosk beat in the next round?
Oh yeah, I forgot how to actually. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Tim. You.
Oh my god.
And the winner of March Madness 2025 is Fozek. Come on, keep going, Fozek. Going for him.
Oh, it's down to me on this one, isn't it? What are we at the moment? We've got 2 Fozeks, one Echo, or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
But has Chris chimed in yet?
Yeah, I'd like to put in another vote for Fozek, if that's all right.
Come on, Tim. This is supposed to be a speed round, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Oh, this is a difficult one. I'm going for Fozek.
All right.
If
you combine them, it'd be Fozeko, which is kind of cool, But...
Lutheran Rail versus Attack Driver. I really do want the Attack Driver, but I want Lutheran Rail more than most characters on this bracket, so I'm going for Lutheran. Chris?
Lutheran for me as well.
John?
Yeah, Lutheran.
Nick?
Lutheran Rail.
Wow. Attack Driver's your number 1, though, right? He's up against Lutheran.
He'll do me what I have.
EV99 versus Saw Gerrera. John?
I'll go Saw this time.
Me too. I'm going Saw. Chris?
EV.
And Nick?
EV.
Wow.
It's a poll. We have a poll, everybody.
2 5-timers against each other.
Sorry, that EV that we've got, it's just
awful.
not great. And I know it's 5PR on the Saw, but it's still a decent sculpt on him.
Yeah. I just don't want to hear about everyone's complaints about the elbows for the next 5 years when they announce EV. So I think, let's wait until the factory can figure that out again before.
That's a fair point.
The poll is up, guys. Get voting for who you want to go through.
Yeah.
Close again.
Big swing there. Wow, massive. If
you're a big elbow fan, you got to go Saw Gerrera because he's pretty much guaranteed to have him. So,
Well, he is human. It's part of the anatomy. So
it does help, yeah.
But Evie does kind of need to do that, right?
That's the thing. All sorts of accusatory pointing.
Oh, Soar's pulled away.
Soaring away. Yeah.
Soaring away. 58%. We're going to go 10 seconds, then we're ending the poll. I don't think it's going to go anywhere now. 57%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soar goes through. Yeah, we can get rid of that now, can't we? There we go.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
one.
Your two favorites.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. Garandan over Ponkrell all day long. Nick?
Ponkrell. My Garandan.
Chris?
Garandan.
2-1 to Garandan. So up to you, John.
Ponkrell.
It's a draw.
Oh, you went for Ponkrell?
Yeah.
Poll.
Okay. I thought you were like mulling it over.
No. I was thinking about my other Garandan figures I already have.
So hang on, that was 2 Garandan, 2 Pongs.
Oh, was it?
Wait, it sounded like you voted for Ponkrell, which shocked me.
No, I voted for Garandan.
Yeah.
So is it a poll? Is it?
It's a poll, yeah. Chris was Garandan, two crowns.
Sorry. A lot to take in.
There we go.
Garindan, however you want to say it. Who's he up against? Pong. Here we go, guys. Another poll for you guys in the chat. Who are you putting through?
0 to 100%. Oh, yeah. Oh, it swung again. 60-40. Ooh.
Yeah.
50.
I know why you don't like Ponkrell, Tim, because he stinks. Terrible.
People are in the chat. I'm reading the chat here because I'm looking at the poll at the same time. Didn't Ponkrell? Yes, he won the actual March Madness 2024. That's right, isn't it, John? So not this unofficial one that we're doing now. That was Dryden Voss, but the actual official one. Ponkrell did win.
Sorry, I can hear you. For some reason, a StreamYard gives me grief if I don't use my AirPods. But yes, Ponkrell won last year.
So
doing very well here, though, is he? Wow, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't necessarily mean that isn't shouldn't vote for him because of that. But Garandan's at 57%.
Some people might think the message has been sent.
Yeah, maybe.
Activate some bots or something, Tim.
Garandan is 58%, 59% now. It's only going one way.
I love Garandan. That's great.
Wow.
So I'm ending that one now because it's not going anywhere. So Garandan goes through. Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Fair play.
And nobody can say that I had anything to do with that because it was down to the chat. So there you go.
Yeah.
Shasha Teal versus Baze Malbus. Nick.
Yeah, I'll go for Teal. That Power of the Force is too chunky. Baze, I'm happy to keep riding with my 5 POA.
John.
Yeah, I think Baze is more important, but I'm going to vote for Shasha Teal.
Weird. Just contradict yourself.
I gotta have some consistency, you know. If it all breaks down, I gotta think with my head, not with my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chris,
I don't know.
You got to throw a curveball every so often, John, just to keep us on our toes. Is that it? I'm going to go with Baze on this one. I think we need to complete that Rogue One crew.
Yeah, and I am too. I do want Shasha Teal as well, but we are going for another poll. Because
I like that 5 POA, not okay. The mechanized there. Nice comment.
Well, the Shasha Teal we haven't had at all, have we? In any?
No, we got the Power of the Force, the Rebel issue, one of the 3 Rebel initiatives from Home 1 back in the Power of the Force days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they did redesign the mask a little bit. There's prequel ones and there's more recent ones, but
slight tweaks
for the issue.
What's the deal again, John? Issue Tib, is it species or name for the Home 1? What is
issue
that?
Tib is Shasatil is an Ishitib. Ishitib is a
Yes, of
species.
course.
So I don't think the ones in the. I
That's
don't
what
think
I
the
meant.
home
What's the
one.
name of the character?
I don't know if we have names for the home one characters. If we do, I don't know them. So if anybody knows in the chat, let us know. But I think
This one is really, really close.
Well,
It's back to 50% now. Bays was winning at 52. It's now
Oh, mine.
50-50. So what are we going to do if it does end up 50-50? Someone...
That's just
You've
taking it.
gone ranking.
Oh, it's gone back to Bays.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Chris. It'd probably go for seeding. Yeah, I reckon. If we ever draw in the chat 50-50, then it should go to the seeding, shouldn't it? I think
Bays is taking it now.
he is. Yeah, 55%. Yeah,
I'd say that's
10 seconds, guys, on this one.
And whoever thought we'd hear Jude Law speaking to an Ishitib saying, "There's a good tib." The world is a wondrous place sometimes, you know.
Out of
Bays
curiosity,
takes
John,
it at 57, 56%, 57%. It's not going to change too much now. So we're ending that one. And Bays is going to go through.
What's up, Chris?
I was going to say, out of curiosity, on the actual proper one, if you got a draw, do you have a plan? Is it
I
penalties?
mean, people always ask about these crazy ideas. You know, if the sun explodes tomorrow, what happens? I don't know, man.
if the sun explodes tomorrow.
Other pressing matters. If it's an exact 100% draw, that'll be interesting to see. We would probably go with seeding, like you said. Maybe, I don't know. What would you say? Because we have the numbers, so it's very unlikely that it'd be 100% equal. But it is possible. They've been some very close matchups before. Maybe we would keep the voting open a little longer. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Number 2 seed versus number 63. No, sorry. I was reading that. Versus number 31, Kira. Rekka versus Kira. Wow. We'll go to John.
Rekka.
Rika.
Chris. So the names are almost the same.
Kira. So
yeah,
more solo representation.
Nick.
Likewise, Kira.
Yeah, I put Rekka through above Yachts, but now he's up against Kira. I think out of those two, I would want Kira. Does that make it 3-1?
Yeah.
Is that 3 Kiras?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, she's through.
Wow.
Dryden Voss versus 2 Tubes. I'll go first this time. Two Tubes for me. I do want both. But 2 Tubes is a very, very cool looking character, and Andor and Rogue One are 2 of my favorite things. So I'm going for 2 Tubes. Chris?
Dryden Voss was my number 2 pick on my top 25, so I'd vote for him over 2 Tubes. I definitely want both, though.
Nick?
I have a 2 Tubes, and shame on you, Hasbro, for not doing another 2 Tubes and Edrio to go with the Benthic you made or whatever. Bad. Don't have a Dryden Voss. 100% Dryden Voss. Dryden.
Oh God, I can see. Why can I see? I can see in the future here. Like,
it makes sense. Come on.
Okay. It's just the way it works out. John.
Yeah, thanks to 5 POA, we have 50% of the 2 Tubes bros, but we have 0% of Dryden Voss. So I gotta go Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss goes
through. Wait until
Maxwell
he meets sweet Simalu, though, man. Just imagine that.
I know.
Hasbro, that does not mean that you should not make a 2 Tubes.
Yes.
But they've... Oh, man.
C3PO versus Agent Callus. Nick.
Oh, 3PO.
John.
This time, oh boy, Callus would be great, but yeah, I'll go C3PO, I guess, even though that's kind of against my rules. First, I want him first. I want them both, but first is 3PO.
Chris.
Going to go 3PO. I think you've made a lot of sense about the sculpt reuse for a new one.
3PO, that's a clean sweep. I do want Agent Callus though as well, but
Agreed.
3PO first.
I think there's one in the chat. You just need to check, Tim.
Thank you.
Might have to scroll up.
Paul Maxwell, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Great live stream. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it and appreciate the super chat. Thank you.
I like your silver hammer. That's a bad joke.
Where are we?
Ezra versus
Ezra Bridger versus. Oh man, this is tough. John.
Oh God, I was hoping I could stall.
Yeah,
like I said, I have other like comic versions of Ventress, and we have animated versions of both of these characters. I want them both. First, though, I would have to go with the awesome Dooku we have. I got to go Ventress.
Nick.
Oh man, it's a messed up tie, whatever you want to call it. Well, I'll go with Ventress because I prefer the character more than
Okay, Chris.
See, I hadn't even considered posing it with Dooku, but now you said that really threw a spanner in there.
I don't dislike Ezra Bridger.
Or even with Anakin here,
Yeah. I'm still going to go and try and complete the Ghost Crew, Ezra, for me.
Oh, why have you done that to me?
You've got him, haven't you? You've got him. What era of Ezra was the one in the Ghost? I can't with the mural. How old was he there? And what was the one you've got in TVC? How old was he then again? Remind me.
What are you saying with the mural?
The mural card, like
that's season 3 and 4.
And then what was the other TVC one? The one I haven't opened yet.
That's the Ahsoka series, which is based on his
the hologram
of season 4. Yeah, so we don't have it. We don't have a season 1 and 2 young Ezra with the long hair.
And as I said, it's not about the fact that
the
hair has to be season 1 because
I just see a cartoon character, man. I can't see him in the real world. It's just, who cares?
So how much? So who is it? 2-1 to Ventress at the moment.
Yeah.
That Ghost is based. You like what I've saying about how can you have a Ghost without Ezra? Well, that Ghost is based on Ahsoka anyway, isn't it? So it's like you've got the.
Ezra Bridger. It is on my list. Asajj isn't. I've had her on the list before, but when it's this matchup, it's difficult because I think first, like I put Ezra Bridger on my bracket somewhere to show support for him to help him get on the bracket, but I think I would prefer first an Asajj Ventress figure. But then again, I do want the season 1. Oh God, this is really difficult.
Yeah. Speed
round. I'm gonna go Ezra Bridger because I'm for having things completed.
I'm so confused with what he's supposed to look like. You got them, as I said, I've got the Moses guy in my head. The hologram, he looked completely different. And then you've got the cartoon character, how he looked like. So I'm just messed up on Ezra, man.
But when I think
of... though, she's a cartoon character too.
I know that. I did say that. That's true. But she's...
Yeah.
When I think of Ezra, though, I think of him as the long-haired guy. That's how I...
Yeah.
Of course. But it's just the face I can't get my head around. But then again,
he was a bit like a space Aladdin as well, which was a bit weird.
It was.
But just like he was, so he's been Aladdin and Moses throughout his career.
What was the name of the actor who played him again, John, or somebody?
Iman Esfandi.
Like
I said, they made a realistic Black Series one. They made all the characters in Black Series season 1 versions before they cast anybody in live action. There is a version of what Ezra could look like. And it's similar. The Kanan is a similar sculpt.
Ezra puts it to the poll, doesn't it?
It does,
yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Black Series Ezra, the young Ezra.
Yeah.
Didn't look...
Just the likeness-wise? Or...
Yeah, it wasn't how I pictured a realistic version of that character.
Yeah.
I just can't split those two I just can't split those two. It'd take me too long to work out what I want.
Because as much as it'd be nice to display Ventress with Dooku and Anakin, it'd be great to display Ezra with Season 1 Zeb and Kanan. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
True.
but Asajj looks like she's going to be taking it 66, 67, 68, 67. Get voting, guys.
Because Ezra was on the bracket, until he was made in the Season 3 and 4 version. So this is his, he's coming back to the bracket at least. And he did fairly well. He made it to the Sweet 16 the first time, then the top 32. He always ranked in the top 25-ish. 19 and then 21. It's one of them, like, it depends who's like they're up against in, it depends who's gone through in other rounds, and it's just it's a difficult one for me to decide on that one. So, but and like we always say with Hasbro, fans all day, we can tell them you got to complete this crew, you got to complete that crew, you got to make this guy and that guy, and then it's okay. Well, which ones we can fit so many in the line right now?
Yeah,
you want so it's a look into there.
Asajj is going through though. She's on 67%. She's not moving from there. So let's
as somebody said before, it doesn't matter who goes through, they're facing 3PO. So
oh my!
Somebody said that before. I can't remember who.
Crosshair versus Plo. We'll go to John.
Don't have any Crosshair. I have a lot of mediocre to pretty good Plos, so I got to go Crosshair.
Chris.
I'm going to go Crosshair on this one.
Nick.
I wish they'd called him Poe Kloon, to be honest, but I'm going with Plo.
If the Galactic Marine had gone through, if Qui-Gon had gone through, might be a different story. But I think out of those two, Crosshair's arguably the best thing about the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put him through.
Okay.
3-1, yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Obi-Wan versus Simu. We're going to go to John.
Clearly Simu would sell 10 times what a brand new, definitive, articulated Obi-Wan Kenobi would do. So I got to go with Simu.
All right. Chris?
I think if we were taking the Chris Banther Skull approach, yes, we'd probably have to be voting for Obi-Wan, but no, it's I want the Simu for me.
Nick?
I'm going to play the Sim card to get it. Yeah, Simu with a shuttle Tidarian to follow.
Okay, well, just for the record, I would have gone for Obi-Wan Kenobi. It doesn't matter because 3 of you have gone for Sim. I do want Simu without a doubt, but he was the most boringest figure out of the whole original vintage line. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is just a rubbish figure. It's really bad.
I mean, some could say there's a reason they haven't updated Sim in 40. Wait, isn't it Sim going through? But
sorry. Oh yeah, sorry.
He's got like a bit more cult status now, hasn't he? Since those days.
I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I think
the weirdos who follow the Emperor are amazing, aren't they?
Put him in a multi-pack with lots of other more interesting things, but get him out there at some point.
We need to speed up a bit. Mind trick. It's half past midnight. We need to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, the next rounds will go pretty quickly because there won't be as many to go through. But Pelimoto versus Carson. Wow, John.
They're both in that. They've both been the connective tissue of all these shows, but I'll go with Peli first.
Nick.
Peli.
Chris.
Peli.
Yeah, clean sweep for me. I think out of those two. It's funny how they end up matching up, isn't it, against each other like that? But right, Chris, Pirate, Captain, Brutus, or Tech?
Tech for me, best member of the Bad Batch.
Nick,
Brutai. We'll put through Brutus.
John,
want them both, but I got to go Tech. Love them.
Yeah, just for speed, I think I'm going to put Tech through. I do want Brutus.
Right, back over to this side. We are now on to the Sweet 16, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, let's do it. Client versus Kiadi Mundi. And we're going to go to Nick.
The Client.
Chris?
The Client gets us closer to that scene. So, yep, Client for me.
John?
Yeah. Client.
Right, okay. I'm a little bit surprised about that, to be honest. I think I would have...
Ain't got no Client.
I might have gone Kiadi Mundi on that, but it doesn't matter. Client's going through. Again, I want both of those. Bosk Fozek, I'll go first on this one. Bosk. Chris.
I'm sorry, Tim. This is where I leave you. I'd want Fozek on this one.
Yeah. John.
It's almost deranged to have Fozek in the Elite 8, but I think I'm going to do it anyway.
And Nick.
Yeah. I've never really liked Fozek that much. I'm gonna. Oh God. Let's go for a poll. Let's go for Bosk, man. Is that split now?
Interesting.
It does, yeah.
It's a tough one, but yeah, Bosk.
I think a new Bosk would look incredible. I mean, like you said, all the other Bosks have been pretty good for their time, though.
They have, yeah, but
they're starting to age a bit, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
It would be amazing to think what they could do with that figure now. With what, when you look at how good some of the figures that we are getting these days.
I mean, like the Snow Trooper was another one who was released in that 2007 Wave Vintage Saga Collection Vintage 30th Anniversary, where it's like I like the old Snow Trooper. I didn't necessarily, it wasn't at the top of my list for a remake, but then I see the new one and it's like, holy crap, this is so much better.
Yeah.
And those bubbles are annoying me now, the shape of them, and also they're starting to yellow as well, aren't they? A little bit, some of them. Especially the Snow Trooper one. You can see it up against the card.
So is that a poll then, that one?
Yeah, it's running now. It's on 64% Bosk. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Get voting, everybody.
I think I'd be happy with either. So is Fozek this year's Dryden storming his way to the...
Right, 10 seconds in the chat, guys, for voting.
Days are numbered.
63%. It's got jumped from 61 to 63, back to 61.
It would be fitting if Bosk takes it all on the stream.
That would be weird, but to be fair, he has won 2 polls now. I think. So
his days are numbered. It depends who he meets. I can't.
It is, yeah.
Poll up there, Tim. I can't see him.
Okay, he's through. So he's going to be up against the Client.
Yeah, whoa, sorry about that, Tim.
Right.
I know where my notes going later, buddy.
Luthen Rail versus Saw Gerrera. 2 characters that I really want. They interact in the show. But out of those 2, for me, it's got to be Luthen. Has to be Luthen. So I'll go to John.
Both great characters, both badly needed in the line, but the 5 POA Saw is better than the non-existent Luthen, so I got to go Luthen.
Absolutely.
Chris?
Right, John.
So just give us a 2-pack of their meeting in Saw's cave. No, Luthen is the one we haven't got, so yeah, that's the essential.
Nick?
Cast your minds back to what John just said. Verbatim is how I feel. So yes. Everything he said. So Luthen.
There you go. Luthen gets a clean sweep. Wow. Oh my God. I need a bit of time on this one. Nick.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Well, you see, the thing is, because of these stupid oversized card backs, I'm nervous about bloody, and I need to get back to July 3. I know he's watching there. Your comment, right, is just enough for a whole live stream. So I will get back to that in response to my latest video. But I'd have to say the Baze Malbus on my shelf is in worse state than my Garandan. It's a beautiful figure still, Garandan. The only thing I don't like about it is the cape. And that's it. It looks good. And so Baze needs a lot, yeah. And have what's it called? Shiratimwe?
Yeah.
He needs his friend on the wall as well. So Yeah, Bays.
John?
Yeah, I agree. Got to go Bays right now. I do want Gurindin for the Streets of Mos Eisley and everything, but Bays needs to go with all the others.
Yeah. Chris?
I think I'm going to make it a bit easier for you. Bays, although I've got him posed with his gun in two hands there, he's not holding it properly. He needs more articulation than Garindan does.
Mm. And that's 3 for Garrett. That's 3 for Bays, right? And this is one where the matchups are in a place where, even though Garindan is my number 1, a lot of that to do is to try and get him on the bracket. Bays.
Sorry, Tim. Sorry.
Bays is more important. We need Bays Malbus really bad.
Mechanized just said we have Chirrut. I don't know if he's talking to me there, but obviously I know that, and that's why we need Bays to go with him. Updated.
Yeah.
Bays is a clean sweep. No poll needed. All 4 of us. And my number 1 seed on my particular list is now out, which is fine because Bays goes through, which I'm also happy with. Okay, let's go over to the other side of the bracket. Now we have the first matchup, which is Kira versus Dryden Voss. And we're going to go to John on this one.
Oh, geez. Well, again, I have a couple of 5 POA Kiras, but I have 0 Dryden Voss, so I got to go Dryden Voss.
God. It's this again, isn't it? This is deja vu, isn't it?
It's the way it is, Tim, isn't it? It's the way it is.
I want them both, but we don't. The fact that we don't have the main villain at all is just still.
Yeah.
No, I know.
There's a simple solution to this. If Hasbro just make Dryden, just done.
Yeah.
Chris, you're going to vote for Dryden, aren't you?
You know I am. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And Nick, you're going to vote for Dryden as well, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I was going to lie and say, well, actually, yeah, no, man. Yeah,
No.
of course I am.
I personally would have voted for Kira on this one, but I do acknowledge that we need Dryden in the line. But Dryden gets 3 votes, he's through.
This is payback for her kicking his butt in the movie.
That's when her red cape becomes irrelevant, doesn't it? You know what I mean? That's no figure beats that. Having no Dryden, sorry.
3PO versus Asajj Ventress. Nick, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go with 3PO. I can't get my head round. Again, I don't like having potential figures that are going to be based on live action when you don't have an actual live action actor to base it on. So, and 3PO is important. Lots you can do with it. Ultimate protocol droid sculpt. So yeah, 3PO for me.
Chris?
I love Ventress, though. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, there's plenty that you could do with a Ventress, but I think 3PO is the more needed one at the moment.
John?
For now, I'll go for Ventress, even though both are very needed.
I'm going 3PO over Ventress. It's loads more you could do with that figure, and we desperately need a new one. So he's going through 3-1. Crosshair versus Simalu. John. Actually, no, we'll let you stew on this one a bit. Chris, you go first on this one.
Yeah, it's an original 96er for me. Try and get that run complete. Sim.
Simalu, okay. Nick?
Simalu, absolutely. Imagine that looking like some of those other great figures we've had, like Bib Fortuna, lovely robes and everything. Wow.
And John?
Well, I'm going to break some hearts here, but I got to go. I got to turn on those who I've been loyal to the whole time. I got to pick Crosshair this time. I think. I think. I know it's nuts. I think purely from what the line needs now, I think it needs Crosshair before it needs Simalu right now. Simalu is needed and is important and has heritage and history and all that, but Crosshair is desperately, desperately needed in the line sooner than Simalu.
But the thing is, there's so much baggage with Crosshair because then you've got to have the others. You know what I mean? You've got to have Wrecker and you've got to
true.
Whatever the others are called.
So it's down to me. John, you didn't make that easy. You should have just voted for who you had.
I didn't want to push it through too easily here.
You should have voted for who you had as number one.
I know,
Like
but
I did with Karen Dan. Or did I?
Crosshair's my number.
I didn't. I went for
3.
Baze. Oh man. I'm gonna go Simalu. We're going Simalu. He's going through.
If you pass it through, see, now you can't blame me.
Okay, Pelimoto versus Tech. This is actually quite difficult, in my opinion. But we'll go to Chris.
Pelly completes more scenes than Tech does at this stage.
John.
Agree. They're both my top 8, but see, now I'm going back and where I just was. Tech is ranked a little higher. I think I needed Tech. I need them both very badly, but I want Tech first.
Okay, Nick. Out of those two, who do you want first?
I hate you. Is it me?
Yeah.
I hate the Bad Batch in this effing tournament. Because you know
don't mince your words, Nick.
Because the thing is, right? Can't we just have them as like just put the Bad Batch, just like remaining Bad Batch members, and just have them as one thing?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
I mean, I don't want to put through the Tech because they haven't got the others, and then it's just like.
And you don't want a point where like it's all 4 of them against each other, like right at the end, because it's.
Yes. So I'd
you're
sooner
almost
go
voting against each other.
There's only one Simalu, there's only one Pelimoto, and you don't have either. So I'm going to go with Pelly. Just one woman army, get her through. Get her done.
And that's how I feel about it as well.
Later. Sorry to
That's how I feel about it as well.
Right. Yeah, I heard you.
It's I do want the Bad Batch. But it's hard to separate which one I want more. Do you know what I mean? It's just it'd be good, as you said. It would be good if it's just like the Bad Batch, and then we just know, don't we?
They're getting in the way of this now. I want them out and out of the way.
Well, go for them and get them made and get them to the top of the bracket. And, show support, and then we don't have to deal with them.
So I went with Pelly. You went with Pelly. Chris, what did you go for?
Pelly for me.
So it's 3-3 for Pelly.
Yep.
Okay. Right. We are now into the business end. And we have the client versus Bosk. And we're going to go to Nick to start with on this one.
Yeah, I've just put a comment in the chat for RKW1138. You're talking absolute bull. Dude. I love animation. I love the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars. I love the Clone Wars. So you, man. I don't hate animation at all. Anyway, so what are we doing now? The client versus Bosk. The client, Tim.
Okay. We'll go to John. It's up to you. You vote for, mate, John.
The client. How have we made it 3 hours and haven't done the voice yet? So the client.
And Chris.
I mean, I think in the proper one, the stranger will probably be in this position anyway. But the client for me on this knockout.
Yeah, and to be honest, this is where Bosk bows out for me. I think the client is more important than a new Bosk at this moment in time. So he goes through. Clean sweep, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Now this is Luthen Rail versus Baze Malbus.
That's easy for me, Tim. I'm not struggling with that, man.
Okay, go for it.
What, me?
Yeah.
Well, Luthen, because Baze he's on my shelf, man. He's not perfect, but he's there. Luthen ain't there.
Chris.
So this is a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
We don't have enough from Andor, but Baze completes a crew. Well, gets us certainly that one step closer. I'm going to go for Baze on this one. I think,
John.
I think in terms of my top 25, it fell that way. Anyway, but
John,
they've both been in the top 10 the past couple of years, and they're both some of the only unmade ones from the top 10 the past couple of years. But speaking of unmade, I gotta go Luthen.
Oh yeah,
I agree with the Baze gets us closer to finishing something.
Back on here, Tim.
Well, the thing is with this, right, is that we're in this, we're whittling it down now, so it is going to get more difficult to choose. So it's just natural, it will. And I do want both of these very, very much. But Luthen is the one I want the first out of them two. Baze Malbus, huge. We need him really badly.
Great card as well, wouldn't he?
But Luthen is one of my favorite Star Wars characters outside of the original trilogy and the Disney era. He's one of my favorite characters from Disney era, possibly the favorite. He was brilliant, so I'm going to go for Luthen. And what's that 3-1 for Luthen?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's fair.
Okay, over to the other side then. We have Dryden Voss versus C-3PO. I'm going to go first on this one. As much as I want Dryden Voss, I haven't got enough else from Solo. And I need C-3PO, and he's going to do so much more in the line. So I'm going for C-3PO. Even though we've got loads of other C-3POs and we don't have a Dryden Voss, I'm still going C-3PO. Nick?
See, I'd vote for C-3PO, but they'd probably put him on a big card, and then I would just not be interested. So because they're messing with my head, and then you see the thing about Dryden is they put him on a big card if you want. I'll only be buying one of them in that case. But
why would they put C-3PO on a big card?
Hey?
Why would they
would? I don't know. Speak to July through Navi seems to think that they can and they will. So my point by saying it was a mistake, July through Navi, was because it was a bad choice. I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to make money for whatever reason. Massive discussion that, but Dryden Voss. I don't have, and I must have him. Must vote for him.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I think 3PO obviously would sell better, and you could do a million things with him. But I don't have a Dryden Voss, and I kind of want to see it. I want to see it be 4 old white guys in the finale. So let's go for Dryden Voss.
Okay, and Chris, you want Dryden Voss? Here's your number 2.
He is my number 2. I think I need to see if I'm completely deluded and let the chat have their voice, though.
You're going to see C-3PO?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have to let the chat have their voice and see how deluded I actually am about wanting Dryden.
Do they want Dryden to win again?
Let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your chance. If you don't want him to win, this is your chance to.
Who cares about Dryden? Who cares?
Let's see.
Us, apparently,
Let's see.
All my figures on my desk have been knocked over, so this will give me a minute to take them back up.
Dryden is more middle-aged than old. C-3PO is at 70%.
Wow, that's great. I mean, that's great.
Okay, deluded then. That's I am.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's 2 completely different characters here for 2 different reasons here, isn't there? Because one, like C-3PO, we've got loads of him, but we don't have a great, like, proper C-3PO.
Exactly.
And we don't have a C-3PO that can then be made into lots of other protocol droids. Never mind the 5 or 6 different versions of C-3PO himself that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Versus a character that's never been made and is a main villain. So it's quite an interesting matchup, really.
Yeah. And C-3PO is one. I'm sure in your past have talked about how like the Disney Parks one is not bad, and you did the review of that the Solo 5PO one. There've been some good sculpts at least of C-3PO, but with all the A New Hope mains being remade to A+ quality lately, and C-3PO being left out, kind of. I'd like to see him down to that level of quality.
I think there's been some great ones, and even going back again to like the saga line, we had that electronic one that was in the net that came with Chewbacca, and you could push the head in and the eyes would light up. They've done some quite interesting things with 3PO in the past as well, not just your fully formed figure.
Mm-hmm.
But I can totally see why we'd need a new, properly scaled, ideally vac metalized one for the 96.
Right. He's at 67%. He's not going anywhere, is he? I'm going to end the poll. I'll give it 5 more seconds if you want to change your mind. But at the moment, C3PO is going through.
Nice.
5 seconds is gone. That's it. 67% of the chat wanted C3PO.
Fair enough.
Okay. Simalu versus Pelimoto to go into this semi-final. So we're going to go with to John, because I put Simalu through for you, buddy. What are you going to do with him now?
Thank you. And I want Pelly. I don't think she's quite as pressing as Crosshair is, so I gotta go back. Please forgive me. I beg forgiveness, my sweet, sweet boy, sweet, sweet Simalu. I gotta go with you this time.
Simalu for John. Nick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Simalu, man. You want any reason behind that, or
You can go for it, yeah.
just only because I do like Pelimoto, but he's just so iconic now, Simalu, isn't he? And doesn't even speak, but he's just like less is more sometimes with those evil, sinister people who surround the Emperor and the mystique of it all, and it's not been done, has it, since the original? So wow, be fantastic to see it.
Yeah, Chris.
Simalu gets us closer to those scenes where you've got the other Imperial dignitaries all gathering around having a natter with the Emperor as well. So he does get us closer to completing scenes. He's an original 96. I think there's potential for the sculpt to be used in other things as well, other older robed characters. So yeah, I'll stick with Sim.
Okay, so that's 3 for Sim. Simalu is in the semi-final of this particular bracket that we are doing.
Wow.
You guys are voting. I personally would, at this point, have gone for Pelly. I want Simalu as much as you guys do, but Pelly completes more things for me. Can't believe I'm saying this, actually. Because she was a bit annoying, wasn't she? But no, she does complete more things, but it doesn't matter, does it? You've put him through.
Wow.
So he is through. Right then, guys, we've got
And John didn't vote for him in the previous round. It's mad, isn't he?
No. So you can't just totally blame me, everybody. But
I put him through last time.
Yeah.
Or as I was one of the 3 people.
Oh,
that put
this
him
is
through.
tough now, man. This is ridiculously annoying.
You just got to
The
comment
client-
as well, Tim, from Kin Plume.
Sorry.
Real quick.
Sorry, Ken. Loving the speed round extended director's cut.
We got 7
Appreciate
minutes
that,
until
buddy.
we break the record. Yeah.
Okay. Right, we are in the semi-final now, or the semi-final, as you say, John. And it's the client. Shall I just reduce that a little bit so we can?
Wow.
No. Okay, there we go.
How far we've come, Tim. Look at that.
So we've got the client versus Luthen, and these two are, similar, I guess, but for me, out of those two, it's got to be Luthen. The client interacts with more that we've got right now, I would say, because with Luthen, you're going to, ideally you have Saw as well, and but I love Andor series, and I do like the Andor figure that we have as well. That he does, and that's the look I want of Luthen, the one where he interacts with that figure that we have of Andor. So I'm going Luthen. Nick?
Yeah, it's really tough. I've just got a vision as well. The client, the figure with the chain he has, the Imperial, like the kind of medallion pendant thing, whatever you call it. Oh, all of that would be wonderful. But Luthen is such a more important, stronger character that you've got to get him in there before the client.
John?
Yeah, I wanted the client longer, but I think I want Luthen more. So I got to go Luthen.
So that's 3 Luthens. And Chris, who would you have gone for?
Like John said, wanted the client longer, but I think Luthen's probably the more important character of the two.
So Luthen gets a clean sweep. Luthen's in the final of the unofficial bracket. This is our bracket, helped by the chat. I suspect that this will not be how the official one goes. And if you want to vote in the official one, which you should, votes open on Monday, in case you missed. It is Monday, isn't it, John? Tomorrow.
This Monday, yeah. March 3rd.
March 3rd, which is tomorrow now in the UK because it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, the polls open at midnight Eastern Standard Time in the US, so it'll be like 5 a.m. UK time.
Yeah, and
so
try and
Linktree
and vote all the way, even if your characters lose and drop out. Keep voting.
Yep, it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So set your alarms now. Do whatever you got to do to remember. Fight for your favorites. So if you don't like what we did today, push something else. Or if you love what we did today, push for that too. So
yeah. And I'm sure everybody's bracket, if they do it themselves, will be different to this. But this is always fun. 4 people deciding who goes through with the help of the chat. And we are now going to find out who goes through to meet Luthen in the final. Is it C-3PO or is it Simu? Crazy that those two are in the semi-final. But that is what's happened. We're going to go to Chris.
Oh, man. This is too hard. Simu is the one he's been on my list every year. I just think if I'm trying to be sensible about this, I need to put 3PO through on this one. Sorry, John.
It's all right. Now we're being sensible.
John, do you want to go next?
Sure. Well, I'll balance it out with my sweet boy Sam. I agree that 3PO is the more sensible choice and the choice that will sell far more and the choice that will get more people interested in TVC. I know that, but the heart wants what it wants, and my heart wants sweet, sweet Simu.
Nick.
Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? And there's a lot you can do with the 3PO, and yeah, it's tough, isn't it? I mean, that figure you had, Tim, the one you opened recently, was the ultimate 3PO.
Well, I just think it's the best Tatooine 3PO in terms of deco and sculpt that we have at the moment.
And then there was that Disney TC.
It's not articulated at all, is it? It lacks in a lot of areas, but.
And the TC-14, the one that was brought out the droid factory, that was sort of half decent, I guess, I suppose, as a sculpt. But there's a lot of things being thrown out.
They've done a few 3POs on that sculpt over the last decade-ish.
I mean, I know he's yet to be done definitively in... Oh, I don't know, man. For God's sakes. Yeah.
Mechanized comment, just make a custom Simu and end this madness.
No, I think I'll just go with my original thought, which is the fact that I do agree on the arguments for 3PO. I totally get that. It's not like I'm voting against him because I don't want a definitive 3PO, and I certainly want a 3PO on a New Hope card back. But the Simu thing is just so much more interesting to choose because revitalize and refurbish the 1983 figure, man, and the card back would be sensational as well, wouldn't it? So, well, yeah, I'm going to vote with Simu, Tim.
Right, I'm going to go 3PO.
Wow.
Because as much as I like Simu, and I do want Simalu, of course. That's why he's this. I've helped him get this far. But 3PO, it's too much you can do with 3PO. It's not just about C3PO. It's about lots of other protocol droids.
Yep.
So I'm going with him, and that leaves it up to Chris, doesn't it?
Wait, no, isn't it tied?
I think that's a draw.
Oh, is it?
3PO, yeah.
Oh, you already said 3PO. Sorry, mate.
With me, yeah.
I completely lost where we were.
It's 4 a.m. for you guys right now, I think. So it's all good.
So that's good though, because it puts it to one of the semi-finals goes to a poll, which is good. So we're going to go C3PO versus Sim Alu. Let's see what they say.
Let's see. So both.
He's not
This will
going
be
to
3PO's third time on the bracket. This will be Simalu's fifth time. Neither of them have ever won a round of voting on the actual bracket.
No way.
Yeah, here they are in their glory. Here we give them the glory that they deserve.
It's a true underdog story.
Yeah.
Well, last year, Dryden Voss won, the live stream version of the bracket, and I would never have guessed that at the beginning.
Yeah. Luke won one of them one time, right? I think it was the second year we did. Luke, A New Hope. Luke won one of ours that we did, and I believe did Kersantin even win when we did it the first time, which was the second year of this?
I think so. Yeah.
Bracket. Yeah. So maybe it'll match up like Kersantin did, or it'll be totally different. I don't know.
I have a feeling that Luthen will do well in the actual real thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he was against in the first round because he might get knocked out in the first round. I don't know, but I just have a feeling he'll do well.
Yeah.
Old man Rex, well, maybe. Well, you never know. You never know. He
may have to get through Savage, and he'll have to get through. Yeah. Plum-Krill.
Yeah. Well, you never know with the wider voting. You never know.
Yeah.
But I think Luthen in ours today has had a few clean sweeps, so we've been pushing him through. C3PO's at 60%. I don't think it's going to be moving anywhere from there. So we're putting him through.
See you later, Sim.
All right. Sweet Sim. There's always next year, buddy. I'm sure you'll be here again anyway.
It's done well.
He had a good run. So the final of the unofficial or unofficial bracket, because there's probably lots more out there.
The officially unofficial.
The officially unofficial bracket of this live stream, which is always great fun. So before we end and work out who wins, just want to say thanks, guys, for coming on again. It's been great fun. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody in the chat that's contributed to the polling and the chat and what have you. It's been awesome. I think we've consistently had over 200 people, which is brilliant. So thank you.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, John. Yeah.
That's
right. It's the final, guys. Luthen Rail versus C3PO. This is like a really tough one for me personally, so I'm not going to go first. John, you can go first.
I think I got to keep it consistent with everything I've done. If Sim was in the final, it'd be a little more difficult, but I got to hashtag Luthen up and vote for the man who's risked it all and lost everything and sacrificed his entire life for us. The least they can do is give him a 3.75-inch figure. It's my man, Luthen Rail.
Okay, we're going to go to Chris.
If the line were to end tomorrow and I was only going to get one more figure.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah, you're swinging me, Chris.
And I was only going to get one more figure. I think C3PO fills a lot more of my dioramas than Luthen does.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to say something else then. Shit. You're not swinging
Taking you on
me.
a roller coaster here, mate. It's
So we've got one for we've got
Because
one
one
for
for Luthen.
Luthen, one for 3PO, right?
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you where I'm at with this. C3PO is number 2 on my personal top 25. Luthen is number 4. But as I've said, it doesn't necessarily mean that I go that route because it depends who they're matched up against. This is the final. I've backed C3PO for the last year or so, bigging him up, saying we need a new one, which we do. And he will open up lots and lots of other characters. But in this particular matchup with Andor round the corner, Andor season 2, I think I'm going to have to go with Luthen. That's what I'm doing. I'm going with Luthen. So that's 2 for Luthen, 1 for 3PO, right?
Yep.
Nick?
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm putting it all on me.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate.
There's 2 Luthens and there's only 1 3PO. Well, you see, the thing is, I was thinking about, we've said it all night, all the 3POs you can get, and in Ahsoka, there's that, like, I'm sure she's a maroon colored one on Corellia, and then there's an electric blue one in that bar, and I want all that, and you figure obviously would unlock the potential for that and others, Ijuda and others.
Yeah.
And I was going to vote for Luthen because, Chris started speaking and he said, if the line ended tomorrow, and I was thinking he was going to say, I've got loads of 3POs and no Luthen if it ended tomorrow.
This is it.
Oh, God almighty. So I'm going to be the bad guy, man, because I really want to go with Luthen. But then again, I'm confident that they will do him. But it might be a situation like with Grief Karga when you've got season 2 attire and not season 1, and we'll never get season 1 Luthen. You know what I mean?
We've been confident about a lot
should
of
we
figures.
poll it? Let's poll it, man. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with 3PO because I can understand the total benefits of that, and I really want Luthen as well. But let's let the fate decide. Huh?
The poll is for the final. That's quite a nice way to end it.
Otherwise, I'll kill it.
But as we've said all along, like, especially as it gets further and further down, it gets harder and harder to choose, right? You've got to choose one.
I'm glad those 2 in the final. Obviously, it's good to see all these people in.
It's a worthy final, I think.
Let's do this. Let's put it to the chat. Who wins?
2 from the top 10.
2 from the top 10. Yeah. Yeah. What? Sorry. What were they? What were their while they're voting? What was their seeds?
Yeah. So Luthen was ranked 4, only beneath Stranger, Wrecker, and Crosshair, and then C3PO is number 10.
Wow.
And C3PO Luthen's been in the top 10 the last 3 years since he's been a character after Andor season 1, and then C3PO was a lot lower in the previous brackets.
So hang on. Luthen's debut in the bracket wasn't last year; it was the year before that.
He was new in 2023 because Andor season 1 was fall of 22.
Wow.
Because now every TV show takes 3 freaking years to have a second season.
Time goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
So, wow.
Luthen was 7 in 2023, then 6 in 2024, and then 4 this year. I know he ranked high in both last figure standings as well. And then C3PO was 33 in 2023 and 35 in 2024, and now he's way up to number 10. But he was a lot lower before that.
Wow. So, I mean, obviously, we've got to remember that these 64 characters are the most, like, they're on there for a reason. People out there want them. So,
and a word again, Tim, that existing TVC one with the chest that pops out and the weird, is it an ankle piece or is it on the arm? awful.
Tiny
Dull.
and
Not only the color, but the actual mechanics of the figure were shocking.
the droids
Yeah,
one, you
so,
just
I
look
mean-
at it and it would just things would explode off onto every corner of the room. It's like, well, do we need that feature?
Luthen was number 4 seed, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's when I said like I feel that he'll do well, and I mean he should do if he's number 4 seed versus number. So it's not. For number 4 seed and number 10 seed to be in the final, that's not any great surprise, really.
And in 2023, Luthen made it to the top 32, and then in 2024 he made it to the top 16, where he lost to Pong Krell and then Echo, and then 3PO didn't win a round. He lost to Pelimato and Savaggio Press in the bracket. Which version of Luthen everybody's always asking? It's the Rebel version. It's the non-wigged up version. But it's the if we had to, most people that specified the Black Series one with like the black undershirt and the green
that's the one.
trench coat.
Yeah, that's the one.
And he does have a few different outfits.
The speech.
Yeah.
No, that's a different outfit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
He wears like a black.
There's
There's a black thing. He has a couple black coats, so they
I know.
fashions it a little differently. But then I think in season 2, there's only been a couple pictures of him. He's only in like one shot of the trailer too. So I don't know. Is he going to die in 5 minutes into episode 1? Then everybody's like, I don't want this guy anymore because I don't know. For some reason, everybody's like, I don't want characters that are dead. Even can I please have another Darth Vader and another Yoda and another Han Solo and another Luke and another.
Yeah, Daniel Chart mentioned the wig. He said something about that earlier on. Actually, he said, "I'll have Luthen as long as I can get the wig as well."
And it tries as a C-3PO with a Luthen wig. That'd be fun. Yeah.
3PO looks like he's going to win this 56%.
Wow.
We'll leave him for another few minutes. But the thing is with 3PO, the arguments for 3PO is that obviously we don't have like a very good version of him at this moment in time. He's a character that's gone through the whole of the films. He's in all 9, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's one character and many characters.
And then, but then you've also got all of the other characters that you can get out of that use.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, we're going to end it now because he's on 56%. He hasn't moved. I don't think the voting is going to go. So there you go on this particular stream.
I know Phantom Menace as well. Phantom Menace card back TC14. Wow.
Oh my.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So there you go.
All right. I like it.
And we are going to pretty much end now because it is getting late. But thank you guys for being on again. Thank you everybody in the chat once again for a great stream and contributing to the chat. Really appreciate it. And that's about it, guys. I think thanks, Chris, for joining us once again. Thanks, Nick, as always. Thanks, John. Thanks for putting this thing together, John, as always.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking great interest in how it goes when the voting starts.
Yes. Thank you for doing this stream again. It's always such a fun time.
Yeah.
Even if it takes 3 hours and it's
it takes 3 hours. No, I appreciate it, guys. Does anyone else have anything else to add?
Remember to vote on Monday in the link tree. It's in the description here. It'll be in the SWTVC Instagram bio. It's in the link. You can bookmark the link tree now and refresh at 12:01 Eastern time on Monday, and the voting will be right there. Voting every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Fight for your favorites, and we'll see you all through March. And we have some other stuff planned to go with it, but just remember to vote. We can't do this without everybody's participation. So if you don't vote, you can't complain. And I know complaining is one of the most fun parts about all of this. So
exactly. All right, guys.
That's it.
Cheers, fellas. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's a quarter past midnight. No, not midnight. 1:15 in the morning for us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to go now. So thanks everybody for joining in with the chat. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for everything. Thanks for being active in the chat. Really appreciate it with the polls and everything. It's been great. So thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Agreed. Thank you very much. Good night.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.